Last Friday night, history was made.
Down the field, into double coverage, tipped, and it's caught. Jacob Zeitz, how do you do?
An 18-year drought extinguished by a historic team.
The General McLane Lancers are your 2024 District 10 4A champions.
But tonight, a new herd comes thundering from the east. Tonight, General McLane ventures into enemy territory against Brady Collins in a ferocious Clearfield rushing attack. But with the offense dominating on the ground last week, can the Lancers put on another flawless offensive performance to move to the state quarterfinals? It's the Lancers and the Bison. A spot in the final 8 awaits. Coming up next.
And with that, we welcome you to Clearfield in the middle of the state of Pennsylvania, 2.5 hours to the southeast of Linden Field, where tonight the General McLane Lancers look to do something they haven't done since 2006, make the final 8 of the PIAA football tournament. Tonight's matchup, the General McLane Lancers and the Clearfield Bison. We welcome all of you inside our broadcast booth, and you see our vantage point just outside of Clearfield High School at Bison Stadium. Isaac Petcash, Jonathan Williams. It's great to be back again this week, Jonathan, after what we witnessed last weekend for General McLane. A new challenge. Districts is done. State's up right now.
Yeah, district is over with. This is going to be a completely different game and a new test and a new opponent for this GM Lancer squad. This Clearfield Bison team is really good. They have been dominant all season. They're 11-0, undefeated, no losses. This is going to be a great test for this Lancer squad, but I think they're able to stand up to the task. I think we got a good one on our hands today.
When you take a look at these two teams coming into play, we reminisce on last week's game, Jonathan. We had a couple of questions for GM coming into that game. Number one, could the running attack be consistent? They did that. Teague-Berger, 3 total touchdowns. He took the opening kick back for a score, 2 rushing touchdowns. Then could the defense play consistently for 48 minutes? And they pitched a shutout against a Meadville team that had put 27 on them a few weeks before.
Yeah, they had a lot of questions coming into that Meadville matchup. You know, they gave up some points the first time that they played Meadville, and we were looking at their defense and wondering, can you stand up to the task of a team that has scored a lot of points on you before, and they've shown that they can put up points in a hurry, and they came out and shut them out. Their defense played lights out. They played really aggressively in that game. They didn't relax on third downs. They didn't drop people into coverage. They were aggressive. They blitzed a lot. They kept guys in the quarterback's face, and they were really productive up front. Their defensive linemen made several plays just getting off of blocks and making plays in the backfield. Defense showed up, and then on the other side of the ball, they did it offensively a different way than we typically expect them to do it. This Lancer team is known for being high-flying, high-tempo, throw the ball all over the field, Jacob Zeitz. They didn't have to do that last week. They went to Teague-Berger on the ground. They had 2 rushing touchdowns on the ground, over 100 yards rushing, and they were able to lean on their run game for a majority of the game. And then Isaac finds Jacob over the top to end it off and throws a cherry on top, but they didn't really need the passing attack last week, and they showed us a different side to this Lancer offense last week that they're going to need to do it again today to be successful.
When you take a look at their opponent today, if GM throws the ball well, one thing Clearfield does is they run the football with effectiveness. Brady Collins is the state's 4th leading rusher, Jonathan. He's got over 2,300 yards on the season. He'll wear number 3 tonight for the Bison. He's a senior. He's a quick back. Coaches have compared him to Ethan Knox from last year. What is going to be the key for GM's defense to key in on number 3 for a Clearfield team that runs the ball at will and they are big up front?
I've watched some film on Brady Collins, and the one thing that I've noticed about this kid is you cannot let him get going. You cannot let his legs get going. If you catch him in the backfield and you hit him with 1 or 2 guys in the backfield, you've got a chance. If you let him get to that second level and get up ahead of steam, it's hard to get this kid on the ground. You're going to have to get to him early. You're going to have to be aggressive in tackling him, and you're going to have to rally to the football. You cannot try to tackle Brady Collins with 1 guy. You're going to have 2, 3, 4. You really need all 11 hats to be flying to the football to corral him and keep him from having a breakout game. Like we talked about on our podcast yesterday, he's going to bust one. He's going to bust 2 potentially, but you have to limit those explosive plays from him.
Big question of the night for the Lancers is, can the passing game be successful like it has been all season long? Brady Collins is in the top 4 in the state in rushing. Jacob Zeitz is in the top 10 in the state in receiving. What does ZZ Top have to do this evening that they have already done this year, but maybe even more so in this state playoff game?
Let the game come to them. You know, Isaac Zeitz knows going into every game that his brother Jacob is going to be double covered. That's not anything that they don't expect. That's happened all game, all season long, every game. There's going to be 2 guys on him. So don't force the issue trying to get the ball to Jacob over the top. Free him up on some out routes. Free him up on some slants, some double moves. Be creative in how you get him the ball. I've seen them put him in jet sweep motion. I've seen them toss hand off the ball to him. I've seen them hand the ball off to him. There's a lot of ways you can get Jacob Zeitz involved. It does not involve taking shots down the field. Get him involved early, and eventually those downfield opportunities will come, because this Bison team is going to have to start playing more aggressive and come up and cover him on all of the short stuff, and then that's going to open up the passing game down the field.
You see the Lancers take the field in their road whites tonight. There is a bit of a miss this evening, so rain may be something. You know, we look at this Lancer team all year, Jonathan. You and I have covered it pretty extensively. We know that Jacob Zeitz and Isaac Zeitz are where the offense run, and Teak Berger's a big factor as well. Is there another player, though, that if you're a GM fan and you're looking at this game, you say he has to be the guy tonight to put them through to the quarterfinal?
Jared Corwin defensively. When you're playing against a rushing attack this good and you're playing against a running back this good, your defensive line has to show up. Your front 7 has to show up as a unit. But Jared Corwin is who I'm focusing in on. He's 6'3", 200+. He easily one of the biggest guys on the field and one of the more dominant players on the field, and he has to show up and make some plays on that defensive front. He's going to have to be the one guy that you can count on to make a one-on-one tackle on Brady Collins tonight if they want to be successful.
We'll step aside and come back when we return. The coin toss, the anthem, in the kickoff. It is the 4A first round in PIAA. The Lancers of General McLane, the Bison of Clearfield. Before we go, we also want to say welcome in to those watching, not just from home on the GM Facebook and YouTube page, also as well on the Gem City Sports Twitter page. Clearfield fans who are watching this game, we welcome you in as well. We hear there are a lot who are taking in this game from the Clearfield cheering section and from your daily local sports network who are sharing our link tonight as well. So many people tuned in for this huge matchup. We'll take a break. Be back right after this here on Lancer Link. PIAA first round up next.
Explain, whoever wants to, what is we use the term GM Unified, and that is our token thing. That obviously takes special ed and then works with everyone, correct?
So that's kind of like a blended, we've kind of coined our classroom GM Unified. It's kind of twofold. All the things that we do with Unified Special Olympics, so the Unified Track Team, the Unified Bocce Team, we now have a Unified Weightlifting Team, and we have a ski program where we have regular ed students come and help as our ski instructors, but then also with Education Academy. So we bring in a lot of regular ed students into our classroom so they can kind of build relationships with the students that would not really have that opportunity elsewhere.
Rachel, do you like obviously you're mixing, and do you like that atmosphere when they bring in either the Education Academy's kids?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of it?
Just getting along with anyone outside of my classroom.
And I think that's something that's awesome about General McLane all over. We don't just limit it to in your classroom. It happens between Stash for Cash and any sporting event anywhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think the inclusivity of the school is really good, and that happens because of administration and, students like you guys. So.
Led podcast that highlights and gives you a different perspective of what happens inside General McLane High School and all through the General McLane School District. Check out all the content that the GM Perspective has to offer on Spotify and YouTube, and check out our social medias on Facebook and Instagram. Tune in this week as we sit down with cast from Mamma Mia, the musical coming to General McLane High School on November 14th through the 17th. Tune in as we also discuss with Will Stedman, the director, of all the work that goes into Mamma Mia. This week, the GM Perspective begins its Legends series. Tune in as we sit down with former board solicitor.
Back here on the field, here in Bison Stadium. It is a rainy Friday night. But that's okay. Back here on our Lancer Link production, first round between GM and Clearfield set to get started in just a couple of minutes. The two teams waiting to take the field at the 50-yard line for the coin toss. Isaac Petcash, Jonathan Williams back inside the broadcast booth. If you're watching from home at GM, we welcome you in. If you're watching as a Clearfield supporter, good to see you as well. We already see a great following for this game tonight. Lancers got the opening kick return last week against Meadville, Jonathan, and they took it for a touchdown. What is going to be the key to start early in this game again tonight?
If you take the ball here, you have to set the tone offensively. You have to go out and have a good drive. You cannot come out flat in this football game, not against a Clearfield team who is used to winning, a Clearfield team that has won not close games. They've won big in a lot of their games. They are used to getting off the hot starts, getting off the fast starts, putting their foot on people's throats and keeping it there for the entirety of the game. So you're going to need GM to start out fast here and not get behind the 8 ball early in this game. Captains
gathering at midfield for the coin toss. You see GM in their road white uniforms. They've got red trim down the pants, red lettering and numbering with the red shoulder stripes. Meanwhile, Clearfield, their home black uniforms with white numbers, black pants, and red trim down the side. Want to sing a special thanks as well as we get ready for today's broadcast for General McLane Athletics, for Athletic Director Jamie Soboleski, for allowing us to have this broadcast happen today, and to the General McLane Foundation. So Clearfield wins the toss. They defer. GM gets the football and a chance now potentially for Teague Berger to replicate what he did last week.
Yeah, he got some good blocks last week and was able to take it up the away sideline. So it's going to be interesting to see if they kick it to him, because obviously Clearfield has seen that film. They've seen that he's dangerous back there. It's going to be interesting to see Clearfield's strategy on this upcoming kickoff.
Can't wait for this one tonight. Should be an exciting one. GM Clearfield for the Lancers, their first state playoff game since 2006. They went all the way that year to win the state championship. Clearfield does have a great history with their state football playoffs as well. Here's the national anthem with kickoff next. And so we go from Clearfield, GM, Clearfield, round one of the 4A state playoffs. The winner of this game gets the winner of the WPIAL championship game coming up this weekend. Cannot wait for this one. Two teams that have different styles of offenses, Jonathan, but they both do them very well. Clearfield, the top 5 rushing team in the state for GM. They're a top passing team in the state as well.
Yeah, Clearfield is really dominant on the ground. Some of their stat totals are jarring to look at almost. 300 yards rushing, 70 yards passing, 250 yards rushing, 80 yards passing. They're going to run the football, and they're going to do it efficiently, and they're going to do it well. What you have to do if you're GM is limit the chunk plays, limit those gains of 20 yards or more if you want an opportunity to stay into this game.
It is Bryce Fuschauer to kick things off for the Clearfield Bison. There's a trio of Lancers back to return. Teague Berger, Jacob Zeitz are among 2 of them as we get set to kick things off. Sure glad you're with us here on this Friday evening. It is rainy, it is cold, but it is football playoff weather as we hit the middle of November. Lancers move right to left. It's a squib kick to kick things off. And a bouncing ball will be fielded at the 16-yard line. And a lane across the 30 out to the 35. 40, 45, and a nice return. Cohen Beachley, the one who made that return to the 48-yard line. GM set up in good field position.
So you see they tried to go with the squib kick there and keep the ball away from Teague Berger, and it still got him burned. That's a really good return by Cohen Beachley, and it sets up the Lancers in great field position to start this game.
So we saw Cohen Beachley get a multitude of carries in the fourth quarter in last week's victory against Meadville. But it is Teague Berger, the starting running back in the backfield for Isaac Zeitz, the senior quarterback in his final year, quarterbacking the Lancers in the first play from scrimmage. Pistol set on first down and 10. It's a give. Berger, left side, has a hole. A cut at the 50, 45, 40. No one going to catch him at the 25, 20, and now down to the 15-yard line. Teague Berger picks up right where he left off last week.
Yeah, that's a great carry for Teague Berger. And once again, GM doing it in a way that we didn't expect them to do it. But here comes the tempo. This is what this offense is known for. After a big play, they're on the ball and they're going.
It's a 32-yard gain, and now a penalty coming as Jacob Zeitz makes the catch at the 15, rumbling to the 12, and they're going to get Clearfield for too many men on the field as the defensive lineman, Jonathan, didn't get off in time.
Yeah, that's going to be something Clearfield's going to have to contend with for this entire game. After a big play, this GM Lancer squad is on the ball. They're going fast. It's their bread and butter, and they're basically every big play for them is two big plays for them because they often catch teams not prepared to play on the very next snap.
As of now, it's a catch of 6 for Jacob Zeitz, but Marsha McCormick will likely take this penalty and make it 1st and 5 unless the referees decide otherwise. It is, as we talked about, a rainy night here in Clearfield, but the temperature remaining steady. It was around 50 just about a half hour ago. As we get a sideline infraction, GM will decline the penalty. And so 2nd down and about 5 coming up for the Lancers after Jacob Zeitz runs his way forward. And GM inside the red zone for the first time today as they mark the ball at the 11-yard line. So after the yardage, it becomes 2nd down and about 3. First drive of the game for the Lancers with the first quarter clock at 11:35 and counting.
They've got Jacob Zeitz in the slot right here.
It's 2nd down and 3. Lancers 11 yards from Pater. It's Berger in the backfield with Zeitz. They send him in motion. Isaac on an inside give. Jared Corwin rumbling, untouched, opening drive touchdown. 3 plays is all it takes for the Lancers to pierce this scoreboard. It's the big man, Jared Corwin, to your point, Jonathan, at the start of the game.
Yeah, I mentioned Jared Corwin on the defensive side of the ball, but him getting the ball here inside the red zone, this GM Lancer offense has picked up from where they left off last week, running the football effectively, and they did exactly what I said that they needed to do to be in this game. They started fast. It took 3 plays, 1 play in the air, 2 plays on the ground, a chunk run from Teague Berger to start it off. But don't forget, special teams. Great return, sets them up in great field position, and they're able to capitalize on it.
Extra point attempt. General McLane struggled in this department last week. No problem there. It is an opening drive score for the Lancers. Jared Corwin on a pop pass like you'd see with Travis Kelce in the NFL scores the first touchdown. And with 11:30 left to go in the first, it's 7-0, a 30-second drive for the Lancers.
Yeah, they started fast, and they're off and running right now. Now we're going to get to see this great rushing attack from the Clearfield Bison. This is what we came here to see. This is what we've been hearing so much about with Brady Collins running the football, and we're going to see if this GM defense can stand up to the test.
It is the 5th rushing touchdown of the season for Jared Corwin. He now ties Isaac Zeitz for 2nd on the team with rushing touchdowns, with Teague Berger with 8. But Jonathan, like we were talking about, big men win big games, and Jared Corwin's all a 6'3", 200+.
Yeah, Jared Corwin is going to be a huge factor on both sides of the ball this game because he's your bruiser back. He's your guy that's going to get the ball in the red zone, just like you just saw. And he's himself is a load to bring down. But on the defensive side of the ball, he's going to have to play his best game and get his hands on Brady Collins early and often in this game.
So Lancers set to kick this football away. It's Carter Freeland and Bryce Frushore. 2 seniors back deep for the Bison. We'll hear Freeland's name a lot tonight as the Lancers set to kick things away. In case you just joined us, already 7-0, 30 seconds into this game on a Jared Corwin pop pass touchdown set up by a Cohen Beachley return to the 48. A pooch kick. GM doing the same route as Clearfield. Ball is muffed at the 28. And GM able to scorch to the ball and get him down at the 33, the return man. And so General McLane's defense will start and face Brady Collins, who is arguably a top 5, if not top 3 running back in all of PIAA.
Yeah, this is the rushing attack that we've been hearing about all week, and this is one of the best rushing attacks in the state. He is one of the better running backs in the entire state. We're going to see what he can do here.
First down and 10 for Clearfield. The quarterback today, Xavier Curry. He is a junior, listed as a wide receiver defensive back, but he's also a threat to run the football where that is concerned. First down and 10 at the 33. Bison will motion 2 men over to the right side in the backfield. Brady Collins, senior running back, gets it on first down, running downhill, makes a cut, gets a couple. Jacob Zeitz was there to make the tackle. Logan Squires there as well.
Yeah, a couple arm tackles that he ran through early, but to the point that I made early in the game, they're going to need multiple hats to the football. It's going to take multiple guys hitting him to bring him down. That time they had 4 different guys have a crack at him before they got him down 2 yards.
So a 2.5-yard gain on first down. 2,300 plus yards for Brady Collins coming into this game. He became earlier this year Clearfield's all-time program leading rusher, past Dave Richards, who ended up being a stud at Shippensburg University earlier this season. Another modest gain on second down as they go counter. GM equal to the task. That's Corey Weber who brought down Collins, in 3rd and 7 early coming up.
Great one-on-one tackle off the edge, wrapped his legs up, gator rolled him. That's a wonderful tackle that you like to see, and they're going to have to make a couple of those plays. One-on-one, just you and Brady Collins in the hole. Who's going to win? GM won that one.
Officially 3rd down and 6 from the 36-yard line. Lancers up 7-0. It's the first drive for Clearfield in this first quarter. Off an opening drive, Lancer touchdown. Curry in the gun. Collins is a threat to run on 3rd down. We'll see what they do here. It's play action. Under pressure is Curry, able to find his man out into the flat. It's a first down to Colton Ryan across the 45 to the 47, and Curry was lucky he got that off when he did.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing, Clearfield is going to have to be able to throw the ball in this football game, and that play action fake is exactly what they're going to have to go to. GM is creeping up to the line of scrimmage. They're not playing very far off at all. Their safeties are standing at 8 to 10 yards, which is very close for safety depth. You can see them anticipating the run on every play. If you're going to catch this GM defense by surprise, play action is what you're going to have to go to if you're Clearfield.
We saw Coach Wayne Bradford, DCE, make a bunch of blitzes early in the game against Meadville last week. New running back in the backfield, it's Carter Freeland. Finds a lane, left side, makes a cut, and he's got another first down. 10-yard gain to the 41-yard line. This is the number 2 running back, Carter Freeland, who might be a number 1 on any other team.
Yeah, we got some insight on the way to the game that when Brady Collins comes out of the game, there's not very much of a drop-off. Carter Freeland is very good in his own right. I feel like Brady Collins gets a lot of the press, but Carter Freeland is a great running back, and he just had a great play just now.
So into GM territory is Clearfield on first down and 10 from the 41-yard line. A 7-0 Lancer lead as we continue the early stages of this first frame. Lancer defense pitched a shutout last week in the D10 championship game against the Meadville Bulldogs after surrendering 27 to them earlier this season. Handoff straight up the gut, maybe 2 yards for Collins. So 3 rushing plays. GM's bottlenecked him up pretty well.
Yeah, 3 rushing plays, and this is going to be a kind of a grinded-out football game for this GM defense. You know, Clearfield is going to take what they can get on the ground. They're going to get a yard, they're going to get 2 yards, they're going to get 3 yards, and they're going to keep going to the well until that big play pops. If you're GM, you just have to try to contain those big plays as often as you can.
9 minutes now on the first quarter clock. We've played 3 minutes in this game. A 7-0 lead for GM. Sure glad you're with us here on this Lancer Link production. More motion for the Bison on second down. A give, right side, Collins. Makes one man miss, not the second. And he's close to a first down as he was ripped down from behind. A couple of Lancers were there to him, and it's third down maybe in about 1.5, 2 after that 5-yard gain.
Yeah, they got to him in the backfield there, but were unable to bring him down. Tried to arm tackle him around his legs, and they're going to give him the first down here.
So they give the first down to Collins on the outside run. Brady Collins, as we've talked about, is not a huge guy, just over 6 foot, 175, but he runs so fast. Again, if you're a District 10 fan, reminds you a little bit of Ethan Knox. More motion on first down. Man in motion from left to right, Curry. Give. Freeland now in the backfield. Ripped down by a pack of Lancers. Mason Sayers was the leader in that dog pile. It's a gain of maybe 1.
Yeah, and they brought Matt Carl on a blitz here, and he basically ran right into the play, took on his blocker, wound up blitzing the A-gap, and ran right into the running back. So a well-timed blitz call by Coach Wayne Bradford.
Coach Bradford talked to him before the game. A little stressed, obviously planning for a guy like Collins and knowing that Carter Freeland is also a threat to run the football as well. First drive of the game for Clearfield and a quick moving first drive for the Bison. 3 in the backfield. They just continue to motion out there as a blocking cascade for Freeland on second down. Play action. Curry rolling out. The pass is caught. It's Elijah Glunt breaking free towards the pylon and inside the 5. Same play that Clearfield got to work earlier in the drive works again. It's 1st and goal to go.
Yeah, and they're isolating the corner on the outside, and he just jumped the pass and tried to go for the breakup or the interception. But in that scenario, as a DB, you're always told by your coaches, if you're going to go for it, you better make the play because there's nobody behind you, one-on-one coverage. If you don't make the play, it results in big plays like that.
Elijah Glunt, just a freshman, listed at 5'10", but he is a speedster on the outside. Clearfield knocking on the door at the 5-yard line. It's Freeland in the game at running back. They give it to him, right side, touchdown Clearfield. Carter Freeland. Brady Collins did the lion's share of work. It's Freeland who takes it in, and the Bison are on the doorstep of tying the game.
And that's what happens with this Clearfield offense. You know, they get one big play, and it kind of ignites them. Their offensive line gets bodies moving, and they create big holes up front for their running backs to run through. And that time they were able to take advantage of a big play and get back on the ball and run the ball for a great score.
It's Fruschauer on the extra point after the Carter Freeland touchdown run. Kick on the way, and it's 7-7. We'll step aside. Both teams trading opening drive touchdowns as the Lancers and Bison even after 2 drives. Back after this on this Lancer Link.
The GM Perspective is a student-led podcast that highlights and gives you a different perspective of what happens inside General McLane High School and all through the General McLane School District. Check out all the content that the GM Perspective has to offer on Spotify and YouTube, and check out our social medias on Facebook and Instagram. Tune in this week as we sit down with cast from Mamma Mia, the musical coming to General McLane High School on November 14th through the 17th. Tune in as we also discuss with Will Stedman, the director, of all the work that goes into Mamma Mia. This week,
2 touchdowns on the opening 2 drives. GM gets one. Clearfield responds. Carter Freeland, the most recent touchdown run. And here on this Lancer Link production brought to you by GM Athletics, it's a 7-7 game.
Yeah, this one has the makings of what we thought it was going to be when we got here. It was going to be a hotly contested game. It's going to be a close game. Clearfield's offense showed why they're one of the best rushing teams in the state. They were running the ball at will. They took what they could get in the early downs until those big plays happened and those holes opened up. And you saw a little bit of a flash out of their passing attack, which set up that score.
See what Clearfield does on the kick. Fruschauer this time kicks it deep. And again, it's Cohen Beachley on the return. Not as much luck. The 27, maybe less. And it looks like with a flag on the return, GM will be backed up even more.
Yeah, but that was a great play by number 0, Colton Ryan. He came down, ran down the field, blew up a blocker, and made that tackle through a blocker. A really physical and really aggressive play by him. But we're going to check the flag.
This is just the second penalty of the game, and it is a hold. So GM will be back inside their own 20 to start the drive. Didn't get a big sample size of the offense, Jonathan, on that last drive, but still waiting to see a pass. Well, technically, we've seen a pass, but it was a pop pass from Isaac Zeitz. You'd like to think with this rain and mist, GM will try to keep it on the ground here.
Yeah, they might try to keep it on the ground here, but we're going to get to see exactly what their game plan is. They have to drive the full length of the field for this drive. So we're going to see which side Marshall McCormick is leaning towards, whether he wants to be more pass-heavy or whether he wants to lean on his rushing attack that's been working for him the last 2 weeks.
Ball all the way back to the General McLane 13. They have Jacob Zeitz lined up wide. He's got 15 touchdown catches on the year. In motion comes Corwin. They go that way on first down. Screen. Zeitz zigzagging. And a hard-fought 8 yards on 1st and 10.
Like I said pregame, they're not going to go over the top to Jacob Zeitz too soon. They're going to find other ways to get him the ball. That's the screen pass. It's the second one they've thrown his way this game.
Brought on second down. They move quick. Berger struts to the 30, finds a lane, and it's 12 more yards for Berger. A first down run to the 32.
And Teague Berger was able to find a hole there, make a guy miss, and his jump cuts are looking really efficient tonight, and he's able to get vertical and get 12 yards.
You see the speed of the Lancer offensive attack. Berger, again, another lane opening up. And taken down from behind. It was Freeland who dropped him at the 37.
And they've committed to running the football here as you see Berger go off the field. They've committed to running the football the way that they did last week, and they're moving the ball at will on the ground right now.
A second down and 5. Quick moving second drive for GM. Empty set for Zeitz. Three-man rush. Zeitz fires incomplete. It was in the hands of Bryce Fouchard, and he dropped it. A short interception and a misplay by the Bison.
Looked like miscommunication on that play. I don't think Jacob Zeitz really intended or really saw that the pass was intended for him or thought that the ball was coming. Wasn't his hardest route that he's ever run. And Isaac was waiting for him to turn around and look for the ball and kind of just threw it as a timing pattern. The timing was off.
First third down of the game for GM. Clearfield crowd coming to life. Zeitz on play action. Right side has his man. A first down. Guess who? ZZ Top again. 13 yards, and the Lancers have a first down.
And I'll tell you what, timing was off on that last one, but it was perfect on this one, and they're going quick again.
Quickly back the Lancers. Zeitz keeps, and a wise decision. He's into Clearfield territory to the 49.
I'm not even sure if that was a design play. Isaac bobbled the snap on that one, but was able to corral it and kept it himself and was able to still make a positive play out of something that was really dangerous.
This Lancer team moving quickly as they normally do. 5:37 on the first quarter clock. A 7-7 game. Both teams, one drive, one touchdown. Cohen Beachley in the game. He spells Berger on second down. He and Corwin go in motion, and it's an empty set for Isaac Zeitz.
A little miscommunication here on the Clearfield side.
They bring 5 on second down. Zeitz going to air it down the field. Had a man incomplete. He was looking for his brother and overthrew him at the 25.
Something that I've noticed and something to watch out for, though, when they shift to empty formation, they have one-on-one coverage with Jacob Zeitz, and that's where Isaac was looking just now. They're going to try to attack that matchup every single time they get it. Nobody's been able to cover Jacob one-on-one all season. Clearfield just tried to do it there, and they were successful that last play.
It's 3rd down and 7. You wonder if this is 4-down territory for GM, which would put a run play in play here.
Need a positive play here for that.
Back in the backfield, Berger. They send him in motion. Zeitz a straight drop back. Under duress, but has a lane. Clearfield not covering the middle of the field. And Zeitz takes advantage. Weaving inside the red zone of the 19. It's a second straight 3rd down conversion.
Isaac Zeitz just making magic happen, and the blocking down the field for the Lancers springs that play into going from a first down to a big gain. You see big number 0 out there leading the charge, blocking on the outside.
That was Jared Corwin the block as Clearfield brought pressure. And now we get a whistle and a timeout called. Clearfield will take it. We'll step aside. Lancers driving again in a 7-7 game on our Lancer Link production, brought to you by GM Athletics and the GM Foundation.
McLane football. 25 years of service. Millennium Sound Production is located at 12110 Edinburgh Road with 10 DJs on staff, photo booths, videography, and production services. Millennium Sound Productions is the largest entertainment company in Northwest PA that provides service for weddings, private parties, fundraisers, and school dances, along with videography services for weddings, school productions, and sporting events. Check out Millennium Sound Productions online at www.msdjs.com.
Great shot from our Alec Eisert on the field tonight. Lancers and Bison tied at 7. You hear Marshall McCormick going over directions with his offense. Want to thank as well our great camera crew and our production crew with us tonight. Alec Eisert on the sideline, Mark Eisert up in the booth. Peter Jones working our game cam. Casey Ramey, our producer. Without them, we could not get this done. 7-7 game. Lancers with a first down and 10 at the 20-yard line, trying to punch it on the second straight drive. Another empty set. They stack 3 receivers to the top of the formation as Berger comes in motion. That's a pop pass. Berger slowly churning the legs and got brought down after a couple of yards. Hunter Ressler, the senior, brought him down.
Out of the timeout, you see GM go back to that empty formation, and this time Clearfield has a safety lined up at about the 10-yard line on Jacob Zeitz's side. A motion goes away from him. He doesn't move an inch. He doesn't flinch. It's 2 guys dedicated to Jacob Zeitz every time he moves across the field.
With good reason, 15 reception touchdowns. Him and Brady Collins, the main attractions tonight. Zeitz rolling out on second down. Fires, end zone. Oh, Zeitz nearly pulled it in with one hand. That'd have been a highlight reel catch.
We're talking Sports Center top 10 if he's able to pull that one in. 2, 3 guys surrounding him this time. They're putting their entire defensive back core to work on Jacob Zeitz, and he still finds a way to get open. Just could not make the grab on that one.
Third down of this drive for General McLane. They are 2 of 2 on third downs today. It's their longest one of the game, 3rd and 8. Need the 10 for a first down. Caden Hollier lined up at tight end on the right side. You've got Jacob Zeitz in the slot. First quarter winding down, 4:21 to go on that clock. Empty again. Berger in motion. Blitz off the right side. Isaac to the end zone or short of it, but it's caught. No, it's incomplete. My apologies. He was looking again for Jacob, who comes up a little bit limping after that play. A good route concept, but just couldn't connect.
Yeah, it's a lot of traffic in there, but I'm honestly surprised there wasn't a pass interference penalty. It seemed like one of the Clearfield DBs collided with Jacob Zeitz right before the pass got there. No flag comes out, though, and this Lancer offense is still on the field.
So here comes fourth down. GM did not have to struggle with fourth downs in the game last week. They stayed on schedule. But the first one they faced today from the Clearfield 18-yard line.
They got to go. 5 seconds on the play clock.
Marshall McCormick keeping an eye on the clock. Zeitz just gets it off. Has time. Dumps it down. Jacob, did he get there? I don't think he did. They needed the 10. Got the 12. There is a flag down in the backfield, so hold everything. GM's offense staying on the field for now. But as of now, Jacob Zeitz is short of the line to gain. Jonathan, I don't know if you saw anything.
You know, I don't know if it's a holding penalty because that pass got off really quick and really fast for there to be holding on the offense. I'm not exactly sure.
Clearfield pointing at GM's bench, maybe an illegal man downfield. No, it's against Clearfield. They call a face mask on the Bison defense. Didn't see the number, but it keeps the drive alive for GM, Jonathan.
And that's something that Clearfield cannot do. They cannot have self-inflicted wounds like that, especially you get a stop on fourth down and you're trying to give the ball back to your offense and you think you're off the field as a defense, and now you've given new life to this Lancer squad and 4 downs to get in the end zone.
So a turnover on downs becomes a first and goal, and the Lancers have life again. A 7-7 game. There's 4:03 and counting to go in this first quarter. Glad you're with us. Great following tonight as we see on our broadcast production. Isaac Petcash, Jonathan Williams in the booth. Single back set to the right side is Teague Berger. Zeitz goes that way, and Berger doesn't get much. Wrestled down from behind. A couple of Clearfield players were there in the middle to make the play.
Yeah, that looks like a little RPO that they're trying to set up because I'm expecting Jared Corwin, number 0, to come in from his H-back spot, come across the formation and throw a kick-out block. Instead, he slips the defender and he goes into the flats. If Isaac pulls that ball right there, you might be seeing Jared Corwin walk in for 6 in that flat pattern.
Corwin's already got a receiving touchdown today. He's got 7 on the year. Second and goal for the Lancers, looking to take the lead back. Zeitz this time going to throw to his brother Jacob. Spins, twist. Is he in? Yes, sir. It's 16 touchdowns for ZZ Top, and the Lancers have scored on their opening 2 drives.
Between the run game and between getting the ball to Jacob Zeitz, this is the GM Lancer offense that we've seen all year with a little bit mixed in from what we saw last week. They've been able to run the ball effectively, but when the ball is going in the air, you know where it's going, and it's going to number 2.
Isaac Zeitz now 36 passing touchdowns of the year. 16 of them have gone to his brother. And routes, Jonathan, as the extra point goes up and is through, that were eerily similar. A lot of quick in routes that Jacob could make plays with.
Yeah, with safeties over the top of them and taking away the deep ball, that's what you're going to see a lot of. You're going to see those slants. You're going to see those screen passes and kind of like those tunnel screens that they've tried to set up to him, and they've just kept going back to it. They're going to make Clearfield come up and play him aggressively, and then that's when they're going to take their shots over the top. When they make those corners walk down, they make those safeties inch in a little bit closer, now you give a little bit more space to take a shot over the top. So they're going to keep going to it until Clearfield tightens up defensively.
So 3 offensive drives in this game. All 3 have gone for touchdowns. And Isaac Zeitz to his brother Jacob for the score. 14-7 in this dwindling stage of the first quarter. 3:08 left to go, Jonathan. And you don't want to say anything too early, but eerily similar of how the game against Cathedral Prep went early on. GM's offense was thriving.
Yeah, offense firing on all cylinders. You just got to get your defense to get a stop here. A stop on this upcoming drive would be huge for GM to try to steal some momentum and potentially go up by 2 scores.
This is a Lancer Live production from General McLane High School. Isaac Petcash, Jonathan Williams in the broadcast booth. Again, our game sponsored and presented by GM Athletics. A special thanks to them. Special thanks to Athletic Director Jamie Sobolewski for helping to set things up, and the General McLane Foundation for being gracious enough to allow this broadcast to occur and helping us with the cost. Lancers to kick this football off. It is a deep kick and is returnable from the 10. It's Frushore. Fights right into that sea of white and gets to the 35. Clearfield set up nicely.
Nice return there by Frushore. And we're going to see a mixture of different kickoff strategies for GM. They usually pooch kick it or they squib kick it, keep it on the ground, keep it away from dangerous returners. That time they go with a deep kick, and it's a return out to the 35-yard line. So it's going to be interesting to see what their strategy is going forward on kickoffs.
So Clearfield on the opening drive with a touchdown. It was a lot of Brady Collins early. Carter Freeland had the score at the end of that drive. And it's Collins in the backfield on first down. Lancers have 5 on the line. Collins gets the carry. Pass level 1. Nice open field tackle. Cohen Beachley submarined him for what could have been a longer gain, except it's a modest one of 6.
Yeah, and you see on the left side of that line of scrimmage, Clearfield got a double team on outside linebacker Teague Berger, and they were working him back into the secondary. If that tackle doesn't get made one-on-one on the outside, that could have been a really big gain because there was no one else that was able to come up and make a play.
First quarter nearing completion, 2.5 minutes to go. If you're just joining us, you have missed a lot of offense. 14-7 Lancers in front, 2 passing touchdowns to Jared Corwin and Jacob Zeitz. The difference right now. Collins on second down, won't get the read. Instead, it's Curry, and the Lancers square to the task on that. Keaton Williams, a couple of other defensive linemen in to make the play at what could have been a false start there, Jonathan.
Yeah, it could have been one for sure, and it seemed like quarterback held on to the ball for a split second before making the decision to keep it. Kind of slowed down the timing and kind of threw things off a little bit, and he wasn't able to get any momentum going forward. So it sets up a huge third down for this GM defense.
Lancers have not been able to get off the field on third down. They forced Clearfield to 2 of those in the opening drive, and both times Xavier Curry threw completions. He's got 2 receivers in the pattern on third down. Lancers have 5 on the line. Bringing pressure. Curry under duress. Still out rolling and fires incomplete. Over the head of Carter Freeland. It's 4th down, and the Lancers get a defensive stop.
And that's a huge stop for the GM defense. You know, Clearfield is big on the play action pass, the rollout pass, trying to throw a little comeback pattern or a little out route pattern, whichever one that they have the most room for. And they completed one of those on their first drive down the field, and it wound up being a big play. This time, GM up to the task. GM's DBs stay plastered to their receivers on the rollout and force an errant throw.
So it is 4th down. Clearfield set to punt this football away, and they got to get somebody off the field on 4th down. Lancer station back at their 25-yard line. Frushore to punt. Gets it away. Beachley back, will let it roll, and this is going to take a Clearfield bounce. My goodness. All the way inside the 5 to the 3, and a great punt to pin GM back deep in their own territory.
Yeah, that's one of those special teams plays that if you're a GM fan, it's like a gut punch because now you have to go 97 yards down the field to score. If you're a Clearfield fan, that's why you punt the ball from midfield and don't always go for it on 4th down, because playing the field position game like this and being able to pin GM deep is crucial for your defense if you're able to get a stop right here.
So the Lancers now pinned back in their own territory at a 14-7 lead. We're winding down in the first quarter. I want to say again a special thanks to the General McLane Foundation for helping us out. Let's get this camera back for you. There we are, back on the broadcast. Technical issues resolved quickly. First down run, Berger with some space. Solid run on first down, able to pick up 8.
And they're going right back to that rushing attack again. It's been working for them, and they've been picking up a lot of chunk plays on the ground.
So here comes second down and 2. They've gone to Berger a number of times in this game so far. And we've talked about, Jonathan, so often in this game how important the running attack is going to be to pick up from what was the case last week.
Yeah, and
ran the ball for a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, and it's really effective when they're able to be balanced and they don't have to resort to throwing the football every play, as you see.
But they do here, and it's going for Jacob Zeitz at midfield. He was triple covered, incomplete.
If you're watching on YouTube, I wish you could have paused it right then and there at the end of that play to see 3 different black jerseys standing in a circle around Jacob Zeitz. That's how much attention he commands. Isaacs is going to have to go other places and go elsewhere and look elsewhere with the football to try to get himself going in his passing game, because they are not letting Jacob Zeitz beat him over the top.
All right, it appears we are back. Apologies for the technical issues, but we are returned to the broadcast, and you didn't miss much. The second quarter is underway as they pitch to Jared Corwin, and a modest gain on that play for Corwin. Want to apologize for the technical issues, but it appears like we're back. Make sure to like and leave a comment if you do hear and see us on this stream. Right now, though, a 14-7 game, Jonathan, as we start the second quarter, and the Lancers sitting inside their own territory for what will be a second down play and 9.
Yeah, a big possession right here, because it gives the Lancers an opportunity to take a 2-score lead on a team that predominantly runs the football. That would be huge in this game if they could go up by 2 scores and give them a little bit of cushion.
They go ground again. Not much doing for the Lancers on that play. And here comes now third down. And about 8 yards after just a 1-yard pickup.
No gain on the play. Third down 9.
Does appear like we're back. So we'll switch things over to the second quarter and return. Here comes third down. Isaac Zeitz in the shotgun. He's already got 2 passing touchdowns in this game today from his own 16-yard line. Rolls out, goes back across the body on a screen, and there is a lot of running room for Jacob Zeitz. To the 40, taken down to the 43, but he's going to Lancer first down. Great play design from Marshall McCormick.
Yeah, and he rolls out, and it's actually not Jacob Zeitz. It looks like it might have been Teague Berger.
Okay, check that. My apologies.
On that run. Isaac rolls out to Jacob Zeitz's side, looking at Jacob Zeitz because he's commanding so much attention, and then a little throwback, and there was nothing but green grass and white jerseys ahead of Teague Berger.
Going Beachley. Quickly, they moved his GM on first down, and Beachley into Clearfield territory to the 49. Just so used to Jacob Zeitz making those plays, Jonathan, but a smart play to get the movement flowing towards Jacob.
Yeah, and it really tricks the Clearfield defense because they're focused so heavily on number 2. Everybody starts flowing in that direction, and there's nobody back to the short side of the field. And they go again quickly and get another big play off of their first big play.
Beachley was taken down from behind to the 43, across the 45. Another first down for General McLane. And the Lancers starting to establish the run game, Jonathan. It's throw when you can, not when you have to.
And you want to know a good sign about your running attack? Watch number 54 on each play. He's getting up to the second level in each play, whether he's touching a linebacker. Last play, it was a safety that he had at about 12 yards deep.
That's Dan Topol, the right guard for this Lancer team. They have a great offensive line. Jesse Frost, Corey Weber, Mason Sayers, Dan Topol, and Bryce Mulligan. The starting 5 for GM in this PIAA first-round game. Lancers and Bison, first state playoff game for GM since 2006. Berger back in the backfield. Zeitz outside Corwin. Big body, muscles off a defender, and picks up a first down. Ran straight into Bryce Frushore and made him pay.
And what did we say? 6'3", 200 plus. He is a load to bring down. You're going to have to tackle him low. If you try to meet him up top, you're going to get a similar result to that every single time.
Second quarter clock continuing to roll. 9:17 to go. This is a drive that started at the GM 3-yard line. Has since entered into enemy territory. Lancers are 2 for 2 on touchdowns today. Passes to Jared Corwin and Jacob Zeitz. And in the gun on first down. Pop pass to no one in particular. That's going to be incomplete. They were looking for a player coming across the formation, and no one was there for Isaac Zeitz. He's lucky that pass wasn't picked.
Yeah, it looked like he was looking for Caden Holler on the Penn State-esque tight end shovel pass, and they just weren't on the same page there. It doesn't look like Holler was looking for the ball. Luckily, shovel pass is a forward pass, incompletion. So they live to fight another down, but definitely not on the same page there.
Marshall McCormick continuing to say directions from the GM bench. These are 2 very young coaches for both GM and Clearfield. Miles Karajin on the other side for the Bison. Screen. Corwin, that time got wrapped up. Frushore had a second crack at Corwin and beat him that time. So 3rd down and 12 upcoming after the 2-yard loss.
And I don't know if he was listening to me or not, but he went low this time. And that's the only way that you're going to be able to tackle Jared Corwin. You got to kill the engine is what they call it. Stop his legs and don't give him a chance to get his legs churning and get moving.
Here comes 3rd down and 12. A 14-7 Lancer lead midway point second quarter. Winner to face the Whippeal champ in next week's PIAA state quarterfinal. GM needs the 23 for a first down. They have converted every 3rd down that they've faced so far today. 5 wide set for Isaac. Clearfield brings 4. Pressure. Zeitz across the formation. Locates Corwin. He's not going to get the first down, but it makes it 4th and manageable for GM.
Yeah, nice little drag route. And Isaac just took the check down, took what was available to him, moved the ball closer to the first down, and now it sets up a 4th and short. And like you said, 4th and manageable. Now you open up your entire playbook. You can run the ball, you can pass the ball, you can throw screens, you can do anything that you want from this field position.
A huge play upcoming for the Lancers, who got the football to start the football game, and are looking for 3 straight touchdown drives. Clearfield crowd comes to their feet. GM, a great following here 2.5 hours away tonight as well on the visiting side of the stands. And Marshall McCormick's going to have to call timeout on 4th down and 5. We'll keep it right here with you on the Lancer Link production. Again, want to thank General McLane Athletics, Athletic Director Jamie Soboleski, for helping us out today and getting this broadcast figured out. You know, Jonathan, big play for GM here on 4th down. Who do you look for on a play like this?
Obviously, all of the attention is going to go to number 2. I feel like I've been saying it all broadcast. That's where Clearfield's attention is going to go. I feel like you got to get number 0, Jared Corwin, getting vertical. You have to get him an opportunity to be running vertical, going, get his legs churning a little bit, and he can fall forward. If you make a tackle on him and you gang tackle him and you get him down on the ground, he's good to fall forward for an extra yard or 2 just because of how big he is and how strong he is. So I feel like you got to find a way to isolate him and get him moving vertical.
So it's 4th down and 5 for GM coming out of the timeout. Lancer sitting with a 14-7 lead. Sure glad you're with us here on Lancer Link. Technical issues are all figured out, and we're right back here. Midway point, second quarter. It's Teague, Berger in the backfield, trips receiver to the near side, far side. Check that for Isaac Zeitz. Again, Jacob Zeitz lined up in the slot. Clearfield has no one back at the safety position.
Really aggressive coverage right here for Clearfield.
See if the Bison decide to bring pressure. Zeitz going to have to snap it quickly. They do not. No, it's a delayed blitz. Zeitz up top for Jacob, slides and makes the catch. A first down reception to ZZ Top again, and the Lancers in the red zone to the 12-yard line.
It's an interesting call defensively for Clearfield. They line up one-on-one coverage with Jacob Zeitz. They bail a linebacker at the last second to play underneath on him and kind of bracket him, but they're playing over top of him from 5 yards off. That's not deep enough to cover Jacob Zeitz.
Berger loses 3 on first down. Isaac Moyer took him down on the defensive line. So second down and 13 upcoming for GM. First half clock continuing to dwindle. We are at 7-12 and counting. Lancers trying to take a 2-score lead for the first time in this game. Another shotgun for Zeitz. Sends Jacob in motion, the two brothers. Will they connect again? Zeitz was looking for him. Now takes off and pops a pass. Wide open, end zone. Touchdown, Lancers. Jackson Kaiser had the score. We have a flag down at the 15. Hold on.
And I think Isaac Zeitz might have crossed the line of scrimmage when he threw that pass.
The line of scrimmage was the 15-yard line. And we'll check the flag.
He looked like he was taking off to run with it and just looked up and saw a white jersey standing completely alone. Almost couldn't resist, but
it is. Good catch by you, Jonathan, there. He had room to run to. Did Zeitz wonder if at the last second he just made that quick decision?
Yeah, it's like when you look up and you see one of your guys standing by himself, it's just instinctive if you're Isaac Zeitz to throw the football. But right there, he's a yard or two past the line of scrimmage, and honestly, a good call.
So it's a 5-yard penalty, a loss of downs, and so now third down upcoming for GM.
One thing from that last play that was interesting to notice, though, they sent Jacob Zeitz in motion across the field, and there are 3 guys going in motion with them, 3 guys covering him on that one play, which is what allowed Isaac Zeitz to be able to step up in the pocket and have nobody in front of him in the first place.
3rd and 17. GM can get to the 2 for a first down, looking for their 3rd touchdown. Zeitz will keep it. Has some room and taken down from behind at the 14-yard line. Hunter Ressler wrestles him down, and here comes 4th and 10.
Great last name, man. That's a great tackle from Ressler, because if he doesn't make that tackle from behind, Isaac Zeitz might pick up that first down or even more score. There's nobody in front of him. He made a great cutback, and he was looking at the end zone. So great tackle from behind by Ressler.
Another 4th down for GM on this drive. They've already converted 1. You assume Jacob Zeitz is the big play here. He's down at the bottom of your screen on 4th down. There's 2 other receivers at the top of the screen.
He's double covered.
In motion, Jackson Kaiser. Zeitz, lob, into the end zone. Looking for Berger, couldn't hold on. Flag comes down. At the 5-yard line, there are 2 penalty flags. One at the backfield, one at the 5.
It looks like at least one of these is going to be on Clearfield. It might be roughing the passer in the backfield. I don't know what the flag is for in the secondary.
So we'll check the penalties. Worst case scenario for GM, they're offsetting and you replay 4th down.
Yeah, but worst case scenario for Clearfield, they're both on you, and you just shot yourself in the foot again on a 4th down stop inside the red zone for the 2nd time in this game.
We'll check the flags. Huge calls coming at this point in the game. And Jonathan's correct. They call roughing the passer and holding. And it gives GM a fresh head of downs, the 2nd Clearfield penalty that's given GM an automatic first down.
And you cannot have that if you're this Clearfield Bison team. This GM offense does not need help scoring points. And this is the 2nd straight drive that you have helped them and potentially have helped them get into the end zone.
1st and goal to go for GM after the penalty, ball on the 7-yard line. Isaac Zeitz already has 2 passing touchdowns in this game. Jared Corwin has 1. Jacob Zeitz has the other. Teague Berger off of 2 rushing touchdowns last week. Can he find the end zone? Motion man. Berger, right side. Cascade of blockers. No problem. Touchdown, Lancers. Teague Berger's got 3 rushing touchdowns in the last 2 games, and it's 3 scores on 3 drives for the red and white.
And there goes that Lancer rushing attack again. Clearfield fans are going to want holding. Clearfield defensive players are going to want holding. But that's just aggressive blocking up front, and they're able to score again.
Teague Berger continues to impress in the biggest stages now. 9 rushing touchdowns on the season. And GM has just continued to power the football home in the opening 2 quarters of this game.
From you guys, what
Extra point on the way. Whistle beforehand. It looks like a man jumped for GM. And I think it's a false start coming against the Lancers. We'll have to see.
False start against the Lancers.
So we'll replay the try.
Yeah,
20-7 the score.
the Clearfield faithful say they don't want that penalty. They wanted the holding on the last play, but they didn't get it. It's going to make this a roughly 20-yard attempt, 20-plus yard attempt now for an extra point.
PATs are so important in this game. We saw GM have trouble on a couple of them in the D10 championship game last week. And now Clarion jumped. So we'll move it back to the original line of scrimmage in all likelihood.
It's one thing for GM. GM has played a clean game to this point as far as penalties go. Not a lot called on them, if any called on them at all. Clearfield has been uncharacteristically undisciplined, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Bailing out this GM offense twice is definitely something that they're going to go into halftime and have to have a talk about, because they're going to have to fix that coming out into the second half.
McCall Eichner, the kicker for GM in this game. And it looks like he'll stay on the field. A long delay. Just enough time for you to go grab a snack on this Friday evening. There is a trainer headed over to the General McLane sideline. Not quite sure the player down for GM, but we'll check and see when we come back from our break here. Eichner set to attempt the PAT. Again, want to thank you for being with us here on Lancer Link. Isaac Petcash, Jonathan Williams, our producer Casey Ramey, and all of our camera shooters. One on the field, one on the stands, one in the press box for us. We have all 3 levels for you covered on this PIAA 4A first round. Eichner's kick is partially blocked, and it is no good. And so it's a 20-7 game for GM with their 3rd offensive touchdown. We will step aside. Lancer is doing everything right early on as they have the lead 20-7.
Get ready for an unforgettable night of music, laughter, and heart. Mamma Mia is coming to General McLane for 4 unforgettable performances. Join us for fun this Thursday, November 14th, and 2 shows
here. First in a series of podcasts where we're going to talk about GM history. We're going to bring people on here that are pivotal to where we are today. And Jim, it's just so appropriate that we start with you. You are the guy who was here from the very beginning of this, and we are just honored to have you be on our podcast and to help us record a little bit of General McLane history.
I'm glad to be here.
Yes.
Sound Productions is a proud sponsor of General McLane.
Saturday, November 16th at
20-7, Lancers in front of Clearfield here as we continue in this second quarter. Time winding down. Quick check of the clock. 6:08 left to go before halftime. Isaac Petcash, Jonathan Williams. Again, whether you're a GM fan watching back at home, whether you're a Clearfield fan taking in our broadcast, whether you're watching on the Your Daily Local Network, or whether you're watching from other places around the country and in the state of Pennsylvania. We know how big this game is in 4A. Freeland on the kick return to the 31, not much more. And it's first down coming up for the Bison. Another great drive for GM. Jonathan Teague Berger, the rushing touchdown.
Yeah, and GM has been doing exactly what I said that they needed to do. Start fast. They've scored every time they touch the football, albeit with some help from the Clearfield Bison defense and some timely or untimely penalties on 4th downs. But GM scored every time they touched the football, and Clearfield has not been able to match that to this point.
Brady Collins, for the most part of this game, has been held in check. Again, the big question coming in was how healthy was Collins? He pulled himself a few times in the game last week against USO, but is on the field in this game today. They don't go to him on first down. Curry lost the football, but they rule him down. Cohen Beachley was ready to run that to pay dirt, but the referee say his knee had touched.
Yeah, and that's a lucky break for Clearfield. Ground caused the fumble. Ground is not allowed to cause the fumble, but Clearfield, I know, had to be scared seeing Beachley running the other way with the football.
It's a 5-yard pickup on first down to the 36-yard line. The rain, for the most part, has stopped. Temperature remaining mild in the high 40s on this Friday night from Clearfield. Collins again on second down. Lancers crowding that line, and they bring pressure. Collins straight through the gap.
And Coach Bradford is being really aggressive. He's sending his linebackers into those gaps. He's having them shoot those gaps and try to dive and take out the legs of Collins. Right there, they sent number 22, Cohen Beachley, through the gap, and he just missed the tackle. But they're being really aggressive, and they're shooting gaps, and they're trying to meet Collins at the point of attack.
3rd down and 1 for Clearfield. Can the Lancers get a stuff on a short yardage situation? Collins up the middle. Not going to be touched. Off to the races, Brady Collins. The senior speedster has cut the GM lead in half. 59 yards to the house, and just what Clearfield needed. It's a 7-point game.
And, you know, we said it pregame. You know it's going to come at some point. Brady Collins is going to pop one at some point. He's too good of a running back to not do so. As a GM defense, you regroup, and you got to come back out there with the same mentality as you've had for the first 2 series where you've been able to bottle them up and stop them. You know you're going to give up 1. You might give up 2. You cannot give up multiple of those big plays.
Brady Collins continues to have a fantastic season. Went almost 2,400 yards to this point. Extra point is good. And just like that, Clearfield's back in this game. GM 20, Clearfield 14. We'll take a break, come right back as we roll through the second quarter here on Lancer Link.
Get ready for an unforgettable night of music, laughter, and heart. Mamma Mia is coming to General McLane for 4 unforgettable performances. Join us for fun this Thursday, November 14th, and 2 shows on Saturday, November 16th at 2 and 7 p.m., with final performance Sunday, November 17th at 2. Experience the magic as talented high school students bring the hit musical to life. Tickets are on sale now. Get yours online or at the door. Don't miss out on this amazing high school production of Mamma Mia, the perfect way to kick off your weekend. Get your tickets today and make memories that will have you singing and dancing all the way home.
(20-14), GM leading Clearfield. Want to take a moment to give our thanks and appreciation to everyone involved with the Mamma Mia production. You just saw the commercial for it happening at General McLane High School. Director Will Stedman changing the date of the performance from tonight to tomorrow. Make sure to get your tickets, by the way. It is a fantastically talented group of kids. Mamma Mia tomorrow at 2 and 7 o'clock, continuing their weekend of performances at General McLane High School. Get your tickets today. It was a fantastic opening night last night. I'm sure some of the people in the cast and in the crew taking in this game tonight as well. And again, thanks to Mr. Stedman for allowing just the game to proceed and changing things to help everyone involved. It's a wonderful show. GM with the football back, 20-14, a 59-yard touchdown run from Brady Collins. Jonathan has made things interesting again.
Yeah, and I'm looking at that missed extra point from General McLane that got blocked by Clearfield, and it's kicking me a little bit because GM has notably had issues in the extra point department, and it has come back to bite them, namely when they played Cathedral Prep and wound up being down by 9 points instead of 8 with a chance to tie the game up towards the end. It's going to be interesting to see how that factors in as we get down the stretch.
Clock at 4:27 and running in this second quarter. Lancers back on offense, 3 straight drives with a touchdown. That is the one good thing that the Lancers have had. Their offense has just been rolling in this game. 3 straight touchdown drives. 5-yard gain on first down. It's Berger in the backfield to the right-hand side of Isaac Seitz. The senior quarterback, senior running back combo. Berger again has some room, but fizzles pretty quickly. Try to get across the left-hand side, only picked up one. And here comes 3rd down and 4 for GM.
If I'm GM and if I'm Coach McCormick here, I put it on the ground again. You've been running the ball well. You've been running the ball at will for the duration of this first half. You need 2-3 yards. Lean on your big guys up front. Go get it on the ground.
3rd down and 4. They need the 43 for a first down. Lancers have only not converted 2 third downs today. They go to the air. Zeitz across the middle. It's complete. Breaking free. Jacob Zeitz. Another first down reception to ZZ Top. How many times have they ran that route today, Jonathan?
Man, it's been slant after screen after slant after slant, and Jacob Zeitz is catching everything. Contact gets there a little bit early. It doesn't matter. He's strong enough to fight through it, still make the catch, shake off a tackle or two, and it turns it into a big game.
Back inside Bison territory, the Lancers at the 40. Zeitz, quick screen. Berger hauls it in. Had to extend the arms to make the catch and picks up 3. Could have been worse.
Yeah, great play right there by Colton Ryan, number 0, defeating a couple blocks up outside on the edge for that screen play and getting in and making the solo tackle.
So 2nd down and 8. Clock continuing to wind. Final 2.5 minutes of this first half. Lancers will shift a couple of players over to the left side, up 20-14. First round of the PIAA 4A state playoffs. Winner to take on the WPL champ next week. Berger, left side, a cutback. Held on to the football as the black jersey's trying to rip it free. 3 yards and 3rd down and 5 upcoming.
It's interesting to see some of the communication on the Clearfield defensive side. When those shifts happen and you see number 11 and number 0, Jared Corwin and Caleb Hollier, moving over to the other side of the field, they're looking around a little bit at the linebacker position, trying to figure out how to shift, and a lot of communication between the on-field players and the sideline and the coaches trying to get them lined up.
A timeout called by Clearfield. They'll have 1 left in the half. Take a short break. Be right back in 30 seconds.
Sound Productions is a proud sponsor of General McLane football. 25 years of service, Millennium Sound Productions is located at 12110 Enborough Road with 10 DJs on staff, photo booths, videography, and production services. Millennium Sound Productions is the largest entertainment company in Northwest PA that provides service for weddings, private parties, fundraisers, and school dances, along with videography services for weddings, school productions, and sporting events. Check out Millennium Sound Productions online at www.msdjs.com.
Another great shot from Alec Eisert, our field camera today. Lancers going over things on 3rd down and 5 upcoming. Isaac Petcash, Jonathan Williams, another Lancer Link production. Special thanks to GM Athletics, AD Jamie Soboleski, and the General McLane Foundation for sponsoring us on today's broadcast. What's your plan on 3rd and 5, Jonathan?
3rd and 5, you got 2 receivers at the top of the field, so you got doubles. Really heavy down to the short side of the field with Caden Hollier and Jared Corwin on this side. It's 4-down territory. Honestly, if you really want to run the football right here, there's nothing stopping you.
They've got Berger in the backfield. Again, that motion. Hollier, Corwin, both coming to the left side. On 3rd down, Zeitz going to run it weak side. A beautiful play design. All kinds of real estate. Finds pay dirt. Isaac Zeitz all the way. There's a flag on the field. 3 of them.
I don't like that call. His back is turned to Isaac Zeitz as he makes that cut. There's no way he makes that play. I do not like it. It's going to be a hold on GM right here.
3 flags came spiraling into the 15-yard line. Clearfield has been guilty of drive-killing penalties today. It looks like GM might have one themselves.
I very much dislike that call, Isaac. Isaac is running down, and he has 1 blocker in front of him. There's 1 Clearfield Bison player to beat, and he's got a blocker basically walling him off and sealing him off. He cuts back. The Bison player's back is to him on the cutback, but his blocker just takes and grabs him by the back of the jersey just a little bit and pulls him down. And a guy goes to the ground and gets up flailing his arms, and you see flags coming in from everywhere. I don't think there was any way that kid could have made that play. Even if he doesn't get touched, I don't like that call.
It is a long conversation by the officials. 3 of them on the field threw flags. And there's that hold. So take the touchdown off the board. And GM will have to try things again.
Now, is that a spot foul? Because he signaled 1st down.
It should be 10 from the spot of the foul, and because it was a touchdown, I believe they're going to give GM the first down. That's exactly what it should be. So GM gains 14 yards on that play, but it's not a touchdown. Take it off the board. Miles Karajan is pleading his case on the Clearfield sideline, but that's the ruling, and so the Lancers at least catch a break in that regard, Jonathan.
Yeah, and they still have an opportunity to punch it in here. A little bit of a gut punch watching points come off the board, but you get the first down regardless, and you have another couple of plays to try to punch it in before halftime.
2:03 left until halftime. GM still has time left in this first half. Coming up at halftime, we will show you an extended clip of Casey Ramey's interview with members from the Mamma Mia cast from the GM Perspective podcast. Great stuff they do at school there. Make sure to check that out at half. We'll be playing the full segment for you, as well as the halftime report coming up. So don't go anywhere unless you want to take a quick break and grab a snack and then be back for the Mamma Mia preview. Again, a great show last night. Just incredible what these kids do year in, year out. They're so talented, and they are continuing to do so through the weekend with performances Saturday at 2 and 7. They moved the ball from the 21 to the 25, but it is a first down, so a fresh set of downs for GM.
You know, I might take you up on that offer. I might go on a concession stand tour again, you know.
Are you going to make another top 5 list?
I might, man. Got to add another school to the list and see what Clearfield's working with.
See, it would be something outside of District 10, though. So that would be an all-new list. All right, I digress. Back to the action. 25-yard line for GM. It's Teague Berger in the backfield, a 20-14 lead. Berger couldn't find much of a lane. Flashes forward for 2.
Great one-on-one tackle there by Freeland. Sitting on the outside, sitting in the C gap, gave Berger nowhere to go and wrapped him up around the knees. Just a great one-on-one tackle.
GM's got 2 timeouts left, 1:47 and counting to go in the first half. So still plenty of time with this second quarter clock winding down. Clearfield will get the football to start the second half after they won the toss and deferred. Glad you're with us on this Lancer Link production. What a game in the first round of stakes. GM taking plenty of time on this clock. On second down, Berger up the middle again. Pounces forward. It's a 4-yard gain. And so it's a two-faceted operation here, Jonathan. You want to score, you don't want to give Clearfield the ball back.
Yeah, and that's why they're keeping the ball on the ground right here. You don't have a problem with the time running down. You're close enough now where field goals start to come into play if you get towards the end of the half and you haven't gotten into the end zone yet. So expect to see them keep trying to bleed this clock down, not give Clearfield a chance to score before halftime.
53 seconds to go in the half. Lancers 2 timeouts. Here comes a 3rd and 5. Time for Zeitz. Pocket breaks down, has to fire it towards Hollier and over his head. And it's 4th down and 5 for GM with under 50 seconds to go in this first half.
It's going to be interesting. You're at the edge of your range if you're thinking about a field goal right here. Maybe just outside of it, honestly. And it looks like they're keeping the offense on the field here. They're going to go for it.
GM has scored on every single offensive drive that they have had today. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. Can they find the end zone again? They are 2 of 2 on 4th down so far today. Zeitz in the gun. Clearfield crowd coming to life. Under duress. Zeitz won't get there that time. Brought down in the backfield. The defense makes the play. Hunter Ressler, who we've called a couple times tonight.
Yeah, and they tried to scheme up a little quarterback draw with Isaac Zeitz. And Clearfield was able to defend it with just defensive linemen, just 4 guys on the rush for Clearfield. They were able to defeat blocks, collapse those running lanes for Isaac Zeitz. And they get off the field on 4th down for the first time today. There was not a penalty marker on the field on a 4th down.
So 41 seconds to go in the first half. Clearfield has 1 timeout left in their pocket and a long way to drive. GM trying to go into the locker room with the lead, and they'll take a timeout before this play.
And if you're GM right here, no big plays. You know they're going to keep the ball on the ground. They're going to run the football. That's what they do anyway. But you cannot afford to give up a big play right here before halftime.
We'll be right back.
Get ready for an unforgettable night of music, laughter, and heart. Mamma Mia is coming to General McLane for 4 unforgettable performances. Join us for fun this Thursday, November 14th, and 2 shows on Saturday, November 16th at 2 and 7 p.m., with final performance Sunday, November 17th at 2. Experience the magic as talented high school students bring the hit musical to life. Tickets are on sale now. Get yours online or at the door. Don't miss out on this amazing high school production of Mamma Mia, the perfect way to kick off your weekend. Get your tickets today and make memories that will have you singing and dancing all the way home.
Until the halftime.
Get a reminder coming up at the half, a preview of Mamma Mia. Casey Ramey sits down with members of the cast ahead of their 2 performances tomorrow and 1 on Sunday afternoon. 41 seconds to go before the half. Both teams 1 timeout. Clearfield at the 24. Xavier Curry trying to add to this Clearfield offensive attack, which has 2 touchdowns, including that long run from Brady Collins. Can the Lancers get a stop before the half to go into the break with the lead? Curry's going to toss on first down. A deep ball. No one there. Wanting a flag is Clearfield. They're not going to get one. Cohen Beachley was in coverage, and the flags stay in the pocket.
And they're letting them play. It's hand fighting from both sides. Obviously, Clearfield fans are going to want a flag. Their sideline wants a flag. But as long as there's pushing and shoving going on by both players and hand fighting from both sides, that is a good no call. Let them play.
Second down and 10 for the Vikings.
Clearfield's side in this game today has been animated, frustrated at times. It's a passionate game, no question. Win or go home. The 4A field will be limited from 16 down to 8. 35 seconds to go in the first half. They go ground. They go Collins. Jukes one. Has a nice land across the 35 to the 40. And now Clearfield can get something going on a 15-yard run.
Yeah, and they bottled up all of the holes and they clogged up all the holes inside on that play. But that's just how good Brady Collins is. Puts a foot in the ground, bounces outside, still able to turn what should have been a dead play into about a 10, 15-yard gain.
Clock stops at 29.2. Clearfield 1 timeout, 60 yards to drive. 5 wide receiver set on first down. Lancers stack in the box. They bring pressure. Curry over the middle, almost intercepted. Lancers can't make the play. Matt Caro had his paws on it, couldn't bring it in.
Man, that would have been a huge play for this Lancer defense to get off the field, stop the drive before halftime, and give the ball back to their offense and give them a chance to score, because we know this GM offense would be dangerous from this 40-yard line.
That play just took a few seconds off the clock. Still under 30 seconds to go in the first half. From the 40-yard line, Bison will get the football to start the second half. Curry, screen pass. Man open, Cooper Broad, his first catch. And a nice open field tackle. It's Berger who makes it. Clock continues to run. 15 seconds and counting. And Miles Karajin is in no hurry to call a play. He is going to let the first half clock wind down and send the teams to the locker room in a tight one. We expected a close contest. It's exactly what we've got. And we go to the locker room with GM up by 6.
Yeah, it's been a very offensive-heavy game. GM's offense has scored all but one of the possessions that they touched the football. Arguably should have scored on their last possession as well, had a touchdown erased due to a holding penalty. They've been playing really well offensively. But Clearfield is starting to come alive on offense. They were trending in the right direction heading into halftime. They're going to receive the second half kickoff. So this Clearfield team, they've built some momentum offensively. They've built the run game a little bit. They've busted a long run with Brady Collins. This is going to make for an exciting finish.
Lancers walk off the field for the halftime break. Lots to talk about. Lots more football left to be played. We are at halftime. GM leading Clearfield 20-14. As we hit the break, please enjoy this portion of the GM Perspective podcast. Casey Ramey sitting down with members from the Mamma Mia cast ahead of their performances tomorrow and Sunday.
Obviously that's a challenge, taking it from the courtroom onto the stage. What does that feel like for you guys, whoever wants that?
Well, I think I should also add that I'm also Mamma Mia. I think I forgot to say that in the beginning. And so is Shane.
Yeah, I play Pepper and Mamma Mia.
I play Eddie. But what was the question again?
Well, obviously, the first day when we went from the chorus room to the stage, I remember that big stair thing or whatever getting in my way, and I was like, is this gonna work? And then as it goes on, the show keeps going. I'm like, this is fitting more and more. So I think it's just like something that you adjust to over time.
Yeah, I think the biggest curve was just getting over having something almost, I don't know, not in our way, but something there.
Something that you have to consider when you move instead of, like, once you have to actually start making pathways. And it can't just be, I'll figure out how to get there. Now we actually have to figure out how to get where we're going.
I thought when we moved to the stage it was going to be a lot more space, but it felt like more cramped, to be honest, because of the set.
Yeah, it's definitely, it gives you a more limited space in terms of like how shallow it is, but it's still probably about 16, 20 feet. But going from a place where, again, you don't have anything to go around to something where you have to start taking that into consideration and being in the wings and not being able to be seen, it starts to feel constricting.
So I think since you've taken over, we've had a lot of auditorium redos. I heard new stage got painted this year. What else have we upgraded to the auditorium?
Well, in February, we got a new light board that is the industry standard Element 2 light board. This summer, we got a new Allen & Heath SQ7 soundboard, which is another thing that is what is used in most professional settings. And for those that haven't been back since last fall, we don't have the big walkway around. We've added some seats back in. They've repainted the stage. We have 12 new light fixtures that the school helped us purchase just this fall. So there's a lot of new gear in there right now. And then when you come to see the show, you'll see that there's new carpet and that there's been new paint done in the auditorium underneath the seats. Mr. Menno has been really working hard over the last year to beautify the auditorium space and update it.
So we're getting ready for that show. As when you guys got casted, let's go back to auditions and then casting. Did you guys feel like you fit right into your character, or did you have to work to make your character, or you and your character work together?
For me personally, I remember the first day when we did lines. I just kind of felt the moment and I went with it, and it's kind of been how I play my character ever since. And I didn't really change anything. I kind of just saw him as this way, and then I just kind of went for it. So.
Do you think you and your character are similar personalities?
Yeah. I think we are actually.
Oh no!
When it comes to older girls, yeah.
Okay. No, I definitely think that like I like my character like really fits me. Like I haven't really had to change anything of like how I talk or like what I do. Like I feel like it's just like I don't know. It's just like if I had a name change and was put into a musical.
This is the humble brag moment. We're like, no, we like slam dunk. We like day one. We nailed it.
Yeah. Milo?
I originally did not plan to audition for Bill. I was going to do Harry, but then I kind of asked the other dudes what they were doing, and no one said they were auditioning for Bill. So I really didn't have any competition.
I think it fits you. I like because you like the deep voice. And like, yeah, Bill.
Yeah. Well, I had to perfect some of the dad mannerisms and poses. But.
Yeah.
Layla?
I mean, yeah, I wanted Rosie from when I first saw the show, so I'm glad I got it, and I think it fits me pretty well.
Whoever wants to, give us a rundown if you've never seen Mamma Mia. Obviously not to spoil anything, but what is the idea of Mamma Mia?
I've never seen Mamma Mia.
All right, that's not something you say.
I'm not gonna lie.
But
it's fine.
I want to give a description, but I don't want to be wrong.
It's
but
okay.
From what I've watched it a couple times, never watched the Broadway version, but I'm in the whatever. So we have this daughter, Sophie Lydia, and she is with her mother, and she's a single mother on this taverna or island in Greece, and and she doesn't know who her dad is. She's 21 years old or 20 years old. She has no idea who her dad is, but she finds this notebook of her mother's. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
diary.
Here, shoot it over to me, Shane.
All right, Stedman. I'm laying it up. Slam dunk.
You're doing it. Yeah, set me up.
Take it over.
No, so Shane's right. We have Sophie Sheridan and her mom Donna that live on an island in Greece, and Donna runs essentially like an inn, and Sophie's getting married and wants her dad to give her away, but she doesn't know who he is. So she finds her mom's old diary, and it's set in 1999, 2000, so it's beginning of the internet age. So she finds these guys and sends them invitations to her wedding, pretending to be her mom. So they all come thinking that they're going to this wedding. They don't know who Sophie is. They don't know that it's Donna's daughter. They've just come to visit, and chaos ensues as a lot of misunderstandings get brought to light and old griefs get hashed out, and it really ends with the idea. The character Sky, played by Owen Isert, really hits the nail on the head. He tells Sophie that who her family is doesn't matter. It doesn't define her. What she does and what she does with her life does. And I think that that's a message that is really important, and that a lot of people can relate to, whether you're adults or even students in our building. Everybody's trying to figure out who
We
they
are so excited for Mamma Mia coming to the General McLane High School stage. We have one show under our belt already, and don't forget to get your tickets for either Saturday at 2, Saturday at 7, or Sunday at 2. You don't want to miss out this phenomenal production of Mamma Mia put on by General McLane High School.
Here to do the first in a series of podcasts where we're going to talk about GM history. We're going to bring people on here that are pivotal to where we are today. And Jim, it's just so appropriate that we start with you. A guy who was here from the very beginning of this. And we are just honored to have you be on our podcast and to help us record a little bit of General McLane history.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so let's start it off. Tell us, I think one of our first things we want to know is, how did you get involved with General McLane?
Sound Productions is a proud sponsor of General McLane football. 25 years of service, Millennium Sound Productions is located at 12110 Edinburgh Road with 10 DJs on staff, photo booths, videography, and production services. Millennium Sound Productions is the largest entertainment company in Northwest PA that provides service for weddings, private parties, fundraisers, and school dances, along with videography services for weddings, school productions, and sporting events. Check out Millennium Sound Productions online at www.msdjs.com. Go Lancers!
It is a 20-14 General McLane lead as we get ready to start the second half in a few minutes. Isaac Petcash joining you back inside the broadcast booth as you watch the Clearfield marching band take the field. Again, welcome everybody inside the broadcast booth. What a first half it has been. GM with a 20-14 advantage as we get ready for the second half. Saw a couple of people in the comments section asking who gets the ball to start the second half. That would be Clearfield. The Bison get the football to start half number 2. So GM's defense will have to come up strong again. Both teams in that first half played really well offensively. Clearfield only didn't score on 2 offensive drives. The Lancers had touchdowns in 3 of their 4 offensive drives and were stopped on 4th down inside the 30 on the one that ended the first half in all reality. Taking a look at the first half stats and the big players, Isaac cites his 2 passing touchdowns, one of which went to Jared Corwin, the other of which went to his brother Jacob Zeitz. The 2 have now combined for 16 pitch and catches for touchdowns this season. That dynamic duo continuing again. Meanwhile, on Clearfield side, it's been the usual suspects. Brady Collins broke off a 59-yard touchdown run to cut it to 20-14. And the other touchdown scored by Carter Freeland, who ran one in on the first Clearfield drive of the game. So that's where we currently stand right now. A 6-point lead for GM at the half. A missed extra point on the third GM drive by McCall Eichner is the difference in terms of a 6-point lead or a 7-point lead, and that's at the moment where we stand. So a good one here at Clearfield. Again, the winner of this game will take on the winner of the WPIAL Championship game in 4A happening tonight. That is coming up, or tonight or Saturday, haven't gotten the exact date for that, but that is going to be coming up shortly this weekend, and we will talk about that more as we roll along heading towards the second half. All right, we'll take one more short break. Also want to mention as well in District 10, the 3A championship game, Hickory leads Sharon 16-10 late in the second quarter. Here's more from the Mamma Mia podcast as we are continuing the halftime break. Second half coming up next on Lancer Link.
From you guys, obviously that's a challenge taking it from the chorus room onto the stage. What does that feel like for you guys, whoever wants that?
Well, I think I should also add that I'm also Mamma Mia. I think I forgot to say that in the beginning, and so is Shane.
Yeah, I play Pepper in Mamma Mia.
I play Eddie. But what was the question again?
Well, obviously, the first day when we went from the chorus room to the stage, I remember that big stair thing or whatever getting in my way, and I was like, "Is this gonna work?" And then as it goes on, the show keeps going. I'm like, "This is fitting more and more." So I think it's just like something that you adjust to over time.
Yeah, I think the biggest curb was just getting over having something almost, I don't know, not in our way, but something there.
Something that you have to consider when you move instead of, like, once you have to actually start making pathways. And it can't just be, I'll figure out how to get there. Now we actually have to figure out how to get where we're going.
I thought when we moved to the stage, it was going to be a lot more space, but it felt like more cramped, to be honest, because of the set.
Yeah, it's definitely, it gives you a more limited space in terms of like how shallow it is, but it's still probably about 16, 20 feet. But going from a place where, again, you don't have anything to go around to something where you have to start taking that into consideration and being in the wings and not being able to be seen, it starts to feel constricting.
So I think since you've taken over, we've had a lot of auditorium redos. I heard new stage got painted this year. What else have we upgraded to the auditorium?
Well, in February, we got a new light board that is the industry standard Element 2 light board. This summer, we got a new Allen & Heath SQ7 soundboard, which is another thing that is what is used in most professional settings. And for those that haven't been back since last fall, we don't have the big walkway around. We've added some seats back in. They've repainted the stage. We have 12 new light fixtures that the school helped us purchase just this fall. So there's a lot of new gear in there right now. And then when you come to see the show, you'll see that there's new carpet and that there's been new paint done in the auditorium underneath the seats. Mr. Menno has been really working hard over the last year to beautify the auditorium space and update it.
So we're getting ready for that show. As when you guys got casted, let's go back to auditions and then casting. Did you guys feel like you fit right into your character, or did you have to work to make your character or you and your character work together?
For me personally, I remember the first day when we did lines. I just kind of felt the moment and I went with it, and it's kind of been how I play my character ever since. And I didn't really change anything. I kind of just saw him as this way, and then I just kind of went for it. So.
Do you think you and your character are similar personalities?
Yeah. I think we are actually.
Oh no!
When it comes to older girls, yeah.
Okay. No, I definitely think that I like my character really fits me. Like I haven't really had to change anything of like how I talk or like what I do. Like I feel like it's just like, I don't know. It's just like if I had a name change and was put into a musical.
This is the humble brag moment. We're like, no, we like slam dunk. We like day one. We nailed it.
Yeah. Milo?
I originally did not plan to audition for Bill. I was going to do Harry, but then I kind of asked the other dudes what they were doing, and no one said they were auditioning for Bill. So I really didn't have any competition.
I think it fits you. I like, cause you like the deep voice and like, yeah, Bill.
Yeah. Well, I had to perfect some of the dad mannerisms and poses. But.
Yeah.
Layla?
I mean, yeah, I wanted Rosie from when I first saw the show, so I'm glad I got it, and I think it fits me pretty well.
Whoever wants to, give us a rundown if you've never seen Mamma Mia. Obviously not to spoil anything, but what is the idea of Mamma Mia?
I've never seen Mamma Mia.
All right, that's not something you say.
I'm not gonna lie.
But
it's fine.
I want to give a description, but I don't want to be wrong.
It's
but
okay.
From what I've watched it a couple times, never watched the Broadway version, but I'm in the whatever. So we have this daughter, Sophie, Lydia, and she is with her mother, and she's a single mother on this taverna or island in Greece. And and she doesn't know who her dad is. She's 21 years old or 20 years old. She has no idea who her dad is, but she she finds this notebook of her mother's. Am I right?
Yeah,
Diary.
here, shoot it over to me, Shane.
All right, Stedman. I'm
Take it
laying it
over.
up. Laying it up.
Take it to me.
Slam dunk.
You're doing. Yeah, set me up.
Take it over.
No,
Hoop
so Shane's right. We have Sophie Sheridan and her mom Donna that live on an island in Greece, and Donna runs essentially like an inn. And Sophie's getting married and wants her dad to give her away, but she doesn't know who he is. So she finds her mom's old diary, and it's set in 1999, 2000, so it's the beginning of the internet age. So she finds these guys and sends them invitations to her wedding, pretending to be her mom. So they all come thinking that they're going to this wedding. They don't know who Sophie is. They don't know that it's Donna's daughter. They've just come to visit, and chaos ensues as a lot of misunderstandings get brought to light and old griefs get hashed out. And it really ends with the idea, the character Sky, played by Owen Isert, really hits the nail on the head. He tells Sophie that who her family is doesn't matter. It doesn't define her. What she does and what she does with her life does. And I think that that's a message that is really important, and that a lot of people can relate to, whether you're adults or even students in our building. Everybody's trying to figure out who
We
they
are so excited for Mamma Mia coming to the General McLane High School stage. We have one show under our belt already, and don't forget to get your tickets for either Saturday at 2, Saturday at 7, or Sunday at 2. You don't want to miss out this phenomenal production of Mamma Mia put on by General McLane High School.
Last Friday night, history was made.
Down the field, into double coverage, tipped, and it's caught. Jacob Seitz, how do you do?
An 18-year drought extinguished by a historic team.
The General McLane Lancers are your 2024 District 10 4A champions.
But tonight, a new herd comes thundering from the east. Tonight, General McLane ventures into enemy territory against Brady Collins in a ferocious Clearfield rushing attack. But with the offense dominating on the ground last week, can the Lancers put on another flawless offensive performance to move to the state quarterfinals? It's the Lancers and the Bison. A spot in the final 8 awaits. Coming up next.
24 minutes down. It is a good one from Clearfield High School. Getting ready to start the third quarter. Lancers up on the Bison of Clearfield, 20-14. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. Isaac Petcash, Jonathan Williams. It has been everything we expected and more, Jonathan. GM's offense has been rolling. Clearfield's gotten a big run from their stud running back, and the defense is both making stops to end the first half.
Yeah, GM's offense exploded in that first half, and if it weren't for an untimely penalty, they should have scored all 4 times that they touched the ball in that first half. But Clearfield came out and did what Clearfield does. They run the football. They run the football at will. And they kept going back to the ground, and they kept going back to Brady Collins until he was able to pop one. And when he popped one, boy, did he pop one. And it was what we've been hearing about him since this matchup came out, and we've been hearing this about him all week. And they get the ball here to start the second half. It's going to make for a really great finish to this game, because they're going to go right back to the ground. They're going to go right back to Brady Collins, and they have an opportunity to come and take the lead on the opening possession of the second half.
Want to welcome those of you who are watching back at home at General McLane, for those who are watching on the Clearfield side of things, for those who might be tuning in on your daily local, and those who may be tuning in anywhere around the country. This is one of the premier playoff games at the state level in America tonight. We can say that for sure. Lancers with 3 touchdowns on offense in the first half. They scored 2 in the air, 1 on the ground, 2 rushing touchdowns for Clearfield. That was the case for the Bison in the first half. Third quarter kick set to go as we get ready to begin the second half. 12 more minutes in the third and 12 in the fourth at least, as GM goes with the onside kick, and they might have the football at the 42-yard line. Marshall McCormick with trickery. McCall Eichner atones for his mistake on the extra point, and it's Teague Berger, the recovery to start the second half.
And talk about stealing a possession. That is a gutsy call out of halftime. You're giving up field position if you don't convert that, and the kick was beautiful. My Lord. He puts his toe on the right side of the ball, gives it a little spin outside the numbers. It drops in at like 10, 12 yards. It's as perfect as you would want that kick to be. It's something they definitely executed in practice, and they had a plan coming out of the second half to do that.
Marshall McCormick rolling the dice, and it works to perfection. And now we get to see Isaac Zeitz back to start the second half like we did the first. Berger in the shotgun on first down, goes backwards. Hunter Ressler, how good has he been on the defensive line today? Brought him down for a loss.
Yeah, we've called Ressler's name a couple times. Touchdown-saving tackles that he's made on Isaac Zeitz, and he's been wreaking havoc in the backfield. He's been having a great day.
You get the feeling with that onside kick, Jonathan, that GM feels if they go up 2 scores, they're not going to give it up. It's a huge moment in this game in the first drive of the third quarter. Shotgun formation again in the pistol set. Motion man, play action, Zeitz with a little out route screen. Corwin, the big body inside the 35, and he's close to a first down. 3rd and 2, 3rd and
to a 3rd and manageable, and it opens up your playbook once again where you can run, you can pass. Watch out for Jacob Zeitz in the slot. They've liked going to him in the slant pattern. But they also got Teague Berger in the backfield right now.
3rd down and 2. Zeitz going to keep it. Follows the block from Berger, and he is close to that first down. It looks like he's got it. Across the 31, that's what he needed, and the Lancers move the chains.
And I'm calling all of these other names and telling you to watch out for them getting the football. And Isaac just says, okay, I'm going to do it myself. Nice little quarterback blast, and he gets exactly what he needed for the first down.
Zeitz did run a touchdown in for GM in the D10 championship win last week over Meadville. In case you were missing the start of the second half or just joining us, the Lancers recovering an onside kick to start the second half. And an incompletion, dangerous throw to Jacob Zeitz on first down out of his hands.
And that's the one thing that I noticed about Isaac Zeitz. He doesn't care. If there are 1, 2, 3, even 4 jerseys surrounding his brother, he's throwing the ball anyway. That's the type of trust that he has in his brother as a receiver. And that's the type of plays that they've made all season long. It doesn't matter if there's bodies surrounding Jacob Zeitz or bodies draped all over him. The ball is still coming, and he's still expected to make a play.
16 touchdowns between the two, one of them coming tonight. Berger straight up the middle for 4. And here comes 3rd down.
Now, Clearfield has done a good job of forcing the Lancers into 3rd downs, but they haven't had to face very many 3rd and longs in this game. It's been a lot of 3rd and manageable, a lot of 3rd and short to 3rd and medium, and it gives the Lancers a chance to basically do whatever they want with these 3rd down plays.
It's Zeitz, a cascade of blockers on the right side, has a first down inside the 20. They go QB power again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, they went to it last time, went back to it again, and got more yards this time than last time. And they are really just asserting their dominance up front right now. They're running the ball, and they're moving the ball at will.
You see head coach Marshall McCormick barking out directions on the Lancer sideline. What a job he has done since coming to Linden Field 3 years ago. Has his team on the precipice of a potential state quarterfinal berth. Berger right up the middle, 5 more yards on first down.
Breaking a couple tackles as he gets through the A-gap, and they're just running hard. Like, these running backs are not going down on first contact. They're running through arm tackles. They're making guys miss, and they're fighting for every yard that they can get. And it's setting them up really well in the later downs to have a lot of 3rd and manageable to convert.
4th time inside the red zone for GM today. They are 3 of their previous 3. Pitch play, Berger on 2nd down. Stays on his feet on the spin maneuver. Trying to find the edge. Can't get the end zone, but he is close to a first down. Great balance from Berger.
Yeah, and on that play, you watched Jared Corwin miss a block on the outside. And you think Berger is dead to rights, and he somehow finds a way to spin out of a tackle. He's got a guy draped around his ankle. Stiff arms another one trying to get to the edge. And it's a very big pickup that could have been a tackle for loss.
So here comes 3rd down and 1. Nobody in the backfield with Zeitz. Sends a man in motion, and he's going to keep it all the way and get dropped. This time, Clearfield reads it well on the play in the backfield. John Rowell's the first one to get to Zeitz, and a huge loss on 3rd and 1.
Yeah, they went back to the well again there with another quarterback run. And this time Clearfield was kind of waiting on it. You almost got the thought there, if he'd handed that ball off to number 12, that'd have been a first down because they were not biting on that at all. They were all sitting on Isaac Zeitz.
So 3rd and 1 becomes 4th and 5. A huge play for GM here at the first drive of the second half. After the onside kick worked for GM to begin the third, Zeitz dropping back to the end zone, overthrew his man, incomplete. He had Jared Corwin wide open in the flat and couldn't locate him, and the Lancers turned it over on downs.
Yeah, but he also had pressure right in his face off of his blind side. Left tackle misses a block there, and he's just trying to get that throw off before he gets hit. Put a little bit too much on it, and if you're GM, you really want that one back, especially after starting off with this onside kick.
As we continue through the third quarter, I want to thank the General McLane Foundation, GM Athletics, Athletic Director Jamie Soboleski, for our assistance tonight with this game. 8:50 to go here in this third quarter. Now the first drive of the third quarter for Clearfield after a onside kick that GM recovered. First down and 10. Wildcat, Carter Freeland up the middle on first down and a nice gain of 7. Huge possession here for the Lancer defense, Jonathan.
Yeah, a stop right here would be critical because it gives them an opportunity to get the ball back to their offense. They want to go up by 2 scores really badly. That gives them a little bit of cushion against a team that that predominantly runs the football and is going to run time off the clock. Being up 2 scores is imperative to feeling comfortable in this game.
Again, want to thank all of you who are watching us on this Friday evening, the winner to the Elite 8 of the state tournament. Collins back there on second down. They go that way. Lancers trying to string him out, and they do. What a play in the backfield as Collins goes nowhere. A loss of 2. GM's defense very disciplined on that play.
And we talk so much about Jacob Zeitz on the offensive side of the football, but right there he shows you how much of an athlete he is. Shooting outside, taking out Collins' legs from under him, and making a great play for a tackle for loss.
Neither team in this game has gone 3 and out today. The Lancers a chance to make that happen on 3rd and 4 from the 20-yard line. A huge play here early in the third quarter. Another Wildcat. Freeland straight up the middle. Has a first down. Has a lot more. Kicks it outside and into GM territory. Zeitz, the touchdown saving tackle. It's all the way to the 45-yard line for Carter Freeland.
And what you're seeing from this Lancer defense is they're so keen on stopping the run up the middle that they're getting caught over pursuing from the backside. So when they over pursue and the ball carrier is hiding behind his blockers and basically waiting for something to open up, they're giving up cutback lanes. And that's what Clearfield is taking advantage of right now is, okay, yeah, they're bottling up the middle, but the cutback lanes are wide open, and it resulted in a big play this time.
Lancer bench looking on with a 20-14 lead. Collins runs into a wall, but beats it outside. 35-30, taking on defenders, and there might be 15 added on to this. There might be a face mask at the end of the play. Brady Collins starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, either a face mask or a horse collar there at the end of the play. But once again, you're just seeing the middle is completely clogged up, but there's nobody staying home on the outsides. So when these running backs bounce out to the outside, they're off to the races.
It is a face mask call against the Lancers. What a turn of events. GM recovers the onside kick to start the second half. They get inside the red zone and come up empty. And Clearfield is 20 yards away from taking potentially the lead. 6:47 and counting on the third quarter clock. Lancers up by 6. They've led the whole game. Collins in the backfield. Freeland at quarterback. The running back has been the cue in this third quarter for Clearfield. Calls his own number. Picks up 4.
And it's very obvious that Clearfield has no intentions of throwing the football on this drive. They put Freeland in at quarterback, and they basically have 2 running backs that can get downhill and attack vertically and have explosive plays. And they're really betting on their running game against this GM defense and just having 2 weapons back there that can run the football.
Bison in no hurry to snap this ball. Again, as quickly as the Lancers go, Clearfield quite the opposite. They'll let that play clock bleed under 10. More motion on second down. Freeland and Collins, the 2 backs. Give. Collins snuffed down at the line. Lancer defense warming to the task. It's third down upcoming for the Bison.
Yeah, and that's Cam Weber right there on the stop and shooting in and making a shoelace tackle in the backfield. You don't often see Brady Collins get tackled in the backfield and on first contact, but that time it was a great play.
Likely 4-down territory for this Clearfield team, who came in with Brady Collins as the fourth most leading rusher in the state of Pennsylvania. Two young coaches, Marshall McCormick and Miles Karajin. On third down, Freeland finds a lane up the middle, plowing on defenders, and a 1st and goal to go for the Bison.
You're seeing this GM defense bend just a little bit. You know, long drive, really physical drive, a lot of runs between the tackles, and it's really weighing on them physically. This is an aggressive style of offense, getting downhill and being physical at the point of attack, and it's hard to stand up to that task for these 8, 9, 10, 11 play drives.
Under 5 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Lancers nursing a 6-point lead, in danger of giving it up. Collins trying to sniff the left side, and Cohen Beachley brings him down by the shoestrings.
Cohen Beachley and P.J. Mitchell delivering a lick at the end of it. Collins gets up a little bit, limping a little bit.
We did see Brady Collins take himself out a few times in the win last week over USO. Weren't sure the extent of the injury coming into today. We do know that he's a fighter, and what we've seen from him on film, the program's all-time leading rusher for his career, over 2,300 yards coming into play today. 2nd and goal, ball rest on the 7-yard line. A bobbled snap. They get it to Collins, and he's not going to get to the 5. Another third down coming up.
Cohen Beachley with a huge tackle right there. Like you said, bobbled snap kind of throws off the timing. Could have been a really negative play for Clearfield. Freeland's able to get the handoff off, but Cohen Beachley comes up and makes a good tackle to save a touchdown.
Here comes third down. The third quarter clock at 3:49 and running. GM came up empty on their first possession to the third quarter that started with an onside kick. Bison potentially a chance to take their first lead of the night. Freeland, the quarterback. It's a quick bunch set on third down. Freeland gonna keep it. Bounces outside. He's got the corner, and he has a Clearfield touchdown. The second rushing touchdown of the game for Carter Freeland, and the Bison are an extra point away from their first lead of the night.
Yeah, and they just went overload to the short side of the field. You don't see it very often. And GM had an opportunity to make a tackle on the edge, dive, missed his ankles, and Freeland's able to get into the end zone and get around the corner.
So the Bison have taken momentum of this game. It's the second straight touchdown for Clearfield in this contest. And Bryce Frushore a chance to put them up for the first time tonight. Snap is good, hold is good, and Clearfield have taken the lead. It is 21-20 Bison, their first lead of the evening, with under 4.5 to go in the third quarter. We'll take a break. Be right back here on Lancer Link.
Get ready for an unforgettable night of music, laughter, and heart. Mamma Mia is coming to General McLane for 4 unforgettable performances. Join us for fun this Thursday, November 14th, and 2 shows on Saturday, November 16th at 2 and 7 p.m., with final performance Sunday, November 17th at 2. Experience the magic as talented high school students bring the hit musical to life. Tickets are on sale now. Get yours online or at the door. Don't miss out on this amazing high school production of Mamma Mia, the perfect way to kick off your weekend. Get your tickets today and make memories that will have you singing and dancing all the way home.
Number 8, Bryce Brush.
3:31 to go, third quarter. It is a 21-20 lead for Clearfield, their first lead of the night. On a Carter Freeland 5-yard touchdown run, the second touchdown rush of the night for Freeland, Jonathan, and now GM is up against it, needing something on offense.
Yeah, and you can just kind of feel it here, like the tides are shifting in Clearfield's favor as far as momentum goes. Marshall McCormick tried to spark his offense with the onside kick call out of halftime.
Look out, the kickoff out of bounds. And a miscue by the Clearfield special teams. Frushore put it into the near sideline. And so the Lancers will get good field position to start the drive. They have been close in the last 2 drives, Jonathan, inside the 30 on both the end of the first half and the start of the second half. have not been able to punch it in.
And it's been negative plays, whether it's a penalty, taking a touchdown off the board, or it's been taking a 2-yard loss on 3rd and short when you had a chance to convert and have 4 downs to get into the end zone. You got to eliminate the negative plays if you're GM's offense, especially when you get down into the red zone. You have to play clean football from here on out.
So Marshall McCormick will take the penalty and make Clearfield re-kick. We saw that return touchdown to start the game last week in the D10 championship game. We saw Cohen Beachley get the ball near midfield to start the game on the opening kick. And so GM likes their chances better on the return than they do with the penalty yardage. Lancers had as much of a 20-7 lead in this game. Clearfield scored 2 unanswered touchdowns, and right now it's a missed extra point. That's the difference in this game. So GM set to get this ball back again. It's Beachley from the 15, across the 40, near midfield, shaking tacklers, and a smart decision by Marshall McCormick to take the penalty and make the Bison re-kick.
Yeah, and if anyone was questioning that decision, that's why he makes them re-kick. This Lancer special teams unit is dangerous, and his kickoff return unit in particular is really dangerous. He's one more missed tackle away from busting that one for 6. So you take your chances and you put trust in your guys to pop a big return, because that's something they've done all year.
Want to thank, as we have a moment, General McLean Athletics, AD Jamie Soboleski, and General McLean Foundation for sponsoring and being a part of this broadcast tonight. First time Isaac Zeitz has taken the field with his team down in this game. Berger across the middle, trying to bounce in, now back out, and has a nice 6-yard run on first down. Every drive, by the way, Jonathan, in this game, GM's crossed the 50.
Yeah, and a lot of them, they've started on the plus side of the 50. It's been really good for them to have good field position. They've got to be kicking themselves, though, because they haven't quite finished drives. I think they're 3 of 5 so far in this game as far as getting into the end zone when they touch the red zone. They want to clean that up. They're at 60% right now, and they'd love to see it a lot higher.
2nd and 4. Berger again has some room. Beats one defender, taking black jerseys with him, and a first down for Berger. Give him 8 more as number 6 continues in the second half what he did in the first half.
Yeah, and this rushing attack for GM has not slowed down. Whether it's Berger, whether it's Isaac Zeitz, whether it's Jared Corwin, they are still able to run the football very effectively.
First 3 drives of the game for the Lancers were touchdowns. The last 2 have resulted in 4th down stops. The 34-yard line is where GM has it. Screen. Zeitz to Jacob Zeitz. Spins his way for a nice gain. Need to get number 2 the ball a little bit more, Jonathan. They did so in the first half, not as much in the last quarter plus.
Yeah, and they're trying to find ways to isolate him, but like we've been seeing all night long, it's hard to force feed him, especially when there are 2 or 3 black jerseys surrounding him anytime he touches the ball or anytime you try to target him. So they're trying to be creative and throw screens and slants to find a way to get him involved, but it's been tough sledding.
Final 2 minutes of the third quarter, a 1-point Clearfield lead. Jacob Zeitz exits the field. It's a shotgun set with no one in the backfield for Isaac. Keeping it all the way. Not a lot of room. And is just going to slide down for a loss. Clearfield's defense has snuffed out the QB draw since those 2 opening runs to start the third.
Yeah, and it looked like they were trying to set up a little shovel pass there to Jared Corwin, but Isaac didn't like what he saw a little bit too much traffic in there, and decided to keep the ball and just take it himself. And honestly, a smart decision by him. If you don't like what you see, keep the ball, live to fight another play.
A loss of 3, and it's 3rd and 9. This is where GM has struggled in the last quarter plus of this game. They've gotten it inside the 30. They have not converted touchdowns. Huge play for Zeitz. A deep drop, a deep pass, and a man wide open, but he underthrew him, and it's intercepted. Colton Ryan the pick, and room to run down the right sideline to the 47, still on his feet. Inside GM territory to the 43. A pick thrown by Zeitz at the worst possible time. There is a flag down at midfield, but the interception's going to stand as Zeitz creates the first turnover of the game.
Yeah, man, and he had his receiver. Nobody over the top of him. If he just puts a little bit more on that pass, you're looking at 6 points on the board the other way. Instead, he underthrows it, and it gets picked off from underneath. And a great return.
With 1:01 to go in the third, I do believe the flag is going to be against Clearfield, either for a block in the back or a blindside block. So the Bison will be starting with worse field position, you would think. But Colton Ryan was there to make the play on defense. And a huge INT by the Bison Jr. We'll check the flag. This is our sideline cam. Alec Eisert running it for us tonight. It is a personal foul. They'll call a blindside block on Clearfield on the return. So the Bison back in their own territory to start. And now if you're the GM defense and Wayne Bradford, Jonathan, you absolutely need a stop.
Yeah, you got to be aggressive right here. You cannot over-pursue the ball carrier. That's what's burned you in their last drive, and that's how Clearfield has been starting to pop some big runs. They're doing a good job of bottling everything up between the tackles, but that over-pursuit from outside, your outside linebackers and your corners and your safeties, everybody getting sucked into the middle of the field, and then the running backs for Clearfield are able to just be patient, slow play it, and then bounce to the outside and see nothing but turf in front of them. You got to be able to contain that if you're GM.
It's a huge penalty that negates 26 yards of field position. Clearfield had it at the 46 of GM, backed up to the 32. Final minute of this third quarter. The Bison nursing a 1-point lead. Curry back in at quarterback. He's got Brady Collins behind him. GM getting spread out by this Clearfield offense with the trips receivers.
Some late substitutions here by Clearfield.
It's an inside give. Collins breaking free. One man to beat and pushed out at the 48. Collins nearly broke it again, and Clearfield on the move one more time.
And you're starting to see the Brady Collins that we've been hearing about and we've been hearing so much positive about. Brady Collins is starting to come alive in this football game. And if you're GM, you've got to get back to doing what you were doing in the first half. You've got to send a lot of hats to the football. Everybody has to fly around, and you cannot try to tackle this kid with one person.
They officially mark it out at midfield. 1st and 10 for Clearfield. Under a minute to go in this third quarter. It has been a game in second half for GM of some missed opportunities. Needing a defensive stop here. Freeland back at quarterback. Lancer stacking the box. Freeland up the middle. Not much there. Lancer defense swarming to the task. 2-yard gain.
You see big number 0, Jared Corwin, coming back into the game. It's going to be imperative that he stays on the field because he is a guy that can command a double team at the point of attack, and that allows your linebackers to flow through open gaps and come through unblocked. And those are the guys that you're going to need to come up and make tackles on Brady Collins in the gap.
Final 30 seconds of the third quarter. 2nd down and 8 upcoming for Clearfield. Sure glad you've joined us here on Lancer Link. Another heavy set formation for the Bison. Collins up the middle, has another lane, and is close to a first down. It'll be 2 yards shy, and that will likely take us to the end of the third quarter. The only touchdown of the third by the Clearfield Bison, and GM's got some work to do to start the fourth. We'll step aside, 21-20, Clearfield leading General McLane as we get set for the fourth quarter coming up next.
Sound Productions is a proud sponsor of General McLane football. 25 years of service, Millennium Sound Production is located at 12110 Edinburgh Road with 10 DJs on staff, photo booths, videography, and production services. Millennium Sound Productions is the largest entertainment company in Northwest PA that provides service for weddings, private parties, fundraisers, and school dances, along with videography services for weddings, school productions, and sporting events. Check out Millennium Sound Productions online at
Get ready for an unforgettable night of music, laughter, and heart. Mamma Mia is coming to General McLane for 4 unforgettable performances. Join us for fun this Thursday, November 14th, and 2 shows on Saturday, November 16th at 2 and 7 p.m., with final performance Sunday, November 17th at 2. Experience the magic as talented high school students bring the hit musical to life. Tickets are on sale now. Get yours online or at the door. Don't miss out on this amazing high school production of Mamma Mia, the perfect way to kick off your weekend. Get your tickets today and make...
Start of the fourth quarter from Clearfield High School. A good one. In case you've missed the first 3, you're in for a treat. Isaac Petcash, Jonathan Williams. Lancer defense back on the field on 3rd down and 4, Jonathan. Down by 1 and needing a stop.
Yeah, they need one mightily right here because you give up a first down right here, and now Clearfield with the lead because of the missed extra point. They can start to play the clock game. They can run the ball, run time off the clock, run the play clock all the way down, and really limit possessions for GM, even if you're able to stop them.
4 in the backfield on third down. Now they motion a couple in. Brady Collins is the running back with Carter Freeland. Freeland gets the carry on third down and another first down. It's just 7 after 8 yards for Clearfield, and the Lancer defense wearing a little bit in this start of the fourth.
Yeah, and it's difficult to defend this high-powered rushing attack for 4 quarters. They played a really solid first half against it and still let a couple big ones pop. But now Clearfield is just starting to wear on this Lancer defense a little bit, and they're starting to lean on them a little bit up front.
So much more coverage to come throughout the rest of this game. A reminder, we'll have instant reaction of this game over on the Gem City Sports Podcast Network. Make sure to check us out there on Facebook and X. 1st and 10. Collins lost the football for a second, gathers it back, and picks up 5. Jonathan, how large does this extra point that was missed earlier loom for GM now?
It's really huge because you're looking at the difference between being down in this football game and in a position where Clearfield can quite literally hold the football and limit your possessions and the opportunity to win, or you could be in a tie game right now and playing for overtime. That type of special teams miscue is something that has plagued GM, especially on the extra point unit, all season, and it's been big tonight.
Bison continuing to let that clock dribble down slowly but surely. 2nd down, 5. Freeland has a lane, tripped up from behind. Teague-Berger may have saved a touchdown. And 2nd and 5 turns into 3rd down and 2.
They're getting a guy in the backfield at the point of attack, but they're not making the play. Collins is able to make the first guy miss, and that's something that's special about this kid is the first guy usually doesn't bring him down. And in GM's case, that first guy has usually been meeting him 2 yards in the backfield, but they haven't been able to get him on the ground. And once he gets around that first guy, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yards before you catching him.
Minute and a half gone, 4th quarter. 3rd and 1. Collins, another first down. The senior starting to churn the legs faster in this 4th quarter, and the Bison in the red zone again.
It just feels like Clearfield is taking the air out of the football right now. They are completely dominating momentum-wise, and with every run of 6+, they just get more and more confident on the ground.
If there's ever a time for a turnover for General McLane, now would be it. They have not forced one today. The only turnover in this game was the one that on the drive preceded this. Colton Ryan, the interception of Isaac Zeitz. Can the Lancer defense make a stand at the 20? Freeland on 1st down, up the middle, and another nice chunk. 8 more for Carter Freeland as the Lancer defense over pursuing just a tad.
Yeah, and you get 2 guys that get hands on in the backfield, but same story. They're making guys miss at the point of attack. They're making those first couple of guys that try to tackle them miss, and then after that, it's 7 or 8 yards before you catch them.
4th quarter clock continuing to wind, under 10 minutes left to go. Now just around 9 minutes as we continue to roll things down. Winner of this game will play the WPIAL champion from 4A coming up next week. It'll be a sight time to be determined. Lancers trying to make the final 8, but they need a big stop here to help get there. Collins on 2nd down, finds the outside, breaking free for a moment, but not before being brought down on the near sideline, and we'll check and see how far he is for a first. I believe he's a tad bit short.
Here's something you don't want to see. Jacob Zeitz, I believe, on the ground, appears to be cramping up. Doesn't appear to be anything super serious, but still not a sight that you want to see is number 2 laying on his back.
We'll step aside and take a quick break. Lancers down by 1, looking for a 3rd down stop.
Here to do the first in a series of podcasts where we're going to talk about GM history. You know, we're going to bring people on here that are pivotal to where we are today. And Jim, it's just so appropriate that we start with you. You know, you are the guy who was here from the very beginning of this, and we are just honored to have you be on our podcast and to help us record a little bit of General McLane history.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so let's start it off. Tell us, you know, I think one of our first things we want to know is, like, how did you get involved with General McLane?
Millennium Sound Productions is a proud sponsor of General McLane football. 25 years of service, Millennium Sound Productions is located at 12110 Edinburgh Road with 10 DJs on staff, photo booths, videography, and production services. Millennium Sound Productions is the largest entertainment company in Northwest PA that provides service for weddings, private parties, fundraisers, and school dances, along with videography services for weddings, school productions, and sporting events. Check out Millennium Sound Productions online at www.msdjs.com. Go Lancers!
Jacob Zeitz walking off the field under his own power. A good sight to see for the Lancer star player. He'll have to go to the bench for at least one play. 3rd down and 1 as we come out of the timeout. Lancer is trailing Clearfield 21-20 with 8:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Jonathan, and a huge play here. Lancers just need a stop, but their defense have been out there for a while.
Yeah, their defense has been on the field for what seems like the entire second half to this point. 3rd and 1, and Clearfield has been running the ball at will. You almost bet on Clearfield to go ahead and convert this.
Carter Freeland with 2 touchdowns in this game. Brady Collins is 1. They're the 2 tandem in the backfield right now. On 3rd and 1, Freeland, he is going to get the first down. Didn't get much, only a yard and a half, but that's all he needed to move the sticks.
Yeah,
First and goal.
And now you get to that point in the game. You're getting down to under 8 minutes on the clock. The clock becomes a factor. Time becomes a big factor. If you're Clearfield right here, you take your sweet time and drain and bleed as much time off as you possibly can. With the way you've been running the football, you get in the end zone at around the 6 or 5 minute mark. That's a successful drive for you.
First and goal from the 10-yard line. Clearfield has scored the only touchdown of this second half. It's another give. Collins wrapped up this time. Nothing doing. Lancers making a play when it matters most on first down. They put him behind the sticks.
Yeah, and that's Cam Weber defeating a block and getting into the backfield right there. And a great play by him, making the play through a blocker.
Clock under 7.5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Both teams have their timeouts, all of them here as we roll through this game. You know the Lancers are going to get another shot. Can they get a stop? Man in motion. That's Brandon Chamberlain on 2nd down. Freeland going to keep. Lancers trying to string him out, and they do. What a great defensive play on the far side to knock Freeland out for a loss. And it's 3rd down and goal way back at the 12-yard line.
And Logan Squires was the guy that pushed him out, but Cohen Beachley is the man that made that play, taking on 3 blockers and getting a lot of vertical penetration and making that play bounce way farther outside than they originally intended it to.
So Xavier Curry comes back in at quarterback, and now the pass in play. Lancer defense has had a couple of chances for interceptions in this game. We'll see how Clearfield plays this. But now potential chance for life for GM. From the 12-yard line, it's 3rd and goal. Lancers looking for a stop. It's Curry. He's going to throw. Rolls out. Finds his man, but hitting the deck is Colton Ryan. He had some room, but the pass was to his right, and it's a no-gain play on 3rd and goal. Here comes 4th down for Clearfield.
4th and goal from the 11, and this is not the type of situation you want to be in if you're Clearfield. You're almost having to go to the air on this play. You've been running the ball well, but you haven't been hitting for 11 yards a pop. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Do they hand the ball to their star running back, or do they put the ball in the hands of Xavier Curry and let him throw it?
6:40 left to go. 4th down and goal from the 12. The GM crowd on the far side, a good crowd tonight traveling to their feet. Biggest play of the game so far, Curry. The drop back. Under pressure. He's going to run for it, and he's not going to get there. GM with the stop when it matters most on 4th and goal. A pile of players were there to make the play. Mason Sayers was the man who brought him down.
And just when you thought this Lancer defense was down and out for the count, they come up big with a goal line stand, force a 4th and long situation on the goal line, and GM has life.
And time on the clock. The ball sitting at the 5-yard line with 6:23 left to go. Good news for GM. Jacob Zeitz is back in the game. The offense has been the story all year. Do they have one more drive left in them? Lancers have a 97-yard drive already today. Need to go 95 for a score here. It's Berger in the backfield on 1st down. They go pass. They go Zeitz. Tipped, incomplete. And Zeitz is down. See if he gets back up. He does. Good sign. That pass a little too far for Jacob. Oh, no. We'll take a timeout. Be right back as they check on Jacob Zeitz.
Here to do the first in a series of podcasts where we're going to talk about GM history. We're going to bring people on here that are pivotal to where we are today. And Jim, it's just so appropriate that we start with you. You are the guy who was here from the very beginning of this, and we are just honored to have you be on our podcast and to help us record a little bit of General McLane history.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so let's start it off. Tell us, I think one of our first things we want to know is, like, how did you get involved with General McLane?
Explain, whoever wants to, what is we use the term GM Unified, and that is our token thing. That obviously takes special ed and then works with everyone, correct?
So that's kind of like a blended, we've kind of coined our classroom GM Unified. It's kind of twofold. All the things that we do with Unified Special Olympics, so the Unified Track Team, the Unified Bocce Team, we now have a Unified Weightlifting Team, and we have a ski program where we have regular ed students come and help as our ski instructors, but then also with Education Academy. So we bring in a lot of regular ed students into our classroom so they can kind of build relationships with the students that would not really have that opportunity elsewhere.
Rachel, do you like obviously you're mixing, and do you like that atmosphere when they bring in either the Education Academy's kids?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of it?
Just getting along with anyone outside of my classroom.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that's awesome about General McLane all over. We don't just limit it to in your classroom. It happens between Stash for Cash and any sporting event anywhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think the inclusivity of the school is really good, and that happens because of administration and, students like you guys. So.
This one? Back here at Clearfield High School, as they continue to check on Jacob Zeitz off that incompletion. Marshall McCormick, Coach McCormick with the training staff checking in on Jacob Zeitz. We're not going to show it to you, but do want to let you know they're checking on Jacob, and it seems like he is up with some assistance. Just hard to see. We saw Jacob go down to the prep game, was able to return for the D10 championship. I think regardless of whether you're a Clearfield fan watching this, whether you're a GM fan watching this, you don't want to see anyone go down, but especially not that guy. And we just hope the best for Jacob, whatever the situation is. But it didn't look great from our vantage point, Jonathan.
Yeah, just scary, honestly, from my vantage point to watch him get up and see what ensued after he tried to stand up. And like you said, we saw him go down in the prep game, and it was a very serious injury and one of those things that you never want to see on a football field. And he was able to make a triumphant return. He had a couple weeks off to get his bearings about him and get back healthy and get back into the fold. And he was able to make a return in the D10 championship. But right now it's just hoping that he's okay and hoping that he is able to stay healthy.
We'll take a short break. They are walking with Jacob Zeitz off the field as we speak. We'll be right back.
Get ready for an unforgettable night of music, laughter, and heart. Mamma Mia is coming to General McLane for 4 unforgettable performances. Join us for fun this Thursday, November 14th, and 2 shows on Saturday, November 16th at 2 and 7 p.m., with final performance Sunday, November 17th at 2. Experience the magic as talented high school students bring the hit musical to life. Tickets are on sale now. Get yours online or at the door. Don't miss out on this amazing high school production of Mamma Mia, the perfect way to kick off your weekend. Get your tickets today and make memories that will have you.
Back here at Clearfield, fourth quarter, continuing to wind down as we check on Jacob Zeitz. They are attending to him behind the end zone, closest to where the game is being played. Marshall McCormick and company are still over there with Jacob. The players had gone onto the field to resume the game and now being sent back to their respective benches. And so we continue to hope that everything is okay with Jacob, and we'll take one more commercial break as we continue along in this broadcast. Here's more from the GM Perspective podcast with Casey Ramey and members of the Mamma Mia crew.
From you guys, obviously that's a challenge, taking it from the chorus room onto the stage. What does that feel like for you guys, whoever wants that?
Well, I think I should also add that I'm also Mamma Mia. I think I forgot to say that in the beginning. And so is Shane.
Yeah, I play Pepper in Mamma Mia.
I play Eddie. But what was the question again?
Well, obviously, the first day when we went from the chorus room to the stage, I remember that big stair thing or whatever getting in my way, and I was like, "Is this gonna work?" And then as it goes on, the show keeps going. I'm like, "This is fitting more and more." So I think it's just like something that you adjust to over time.
Yeah, I think the biggest curb was just getting over having something almost, I don't know, not in our way, but something there.
Something that you have to consider when you move, instead of like once you have to actually start making pathways, and it can't just be I'll figure out how to get there. Now we actually have to figure out how to get where we're going.
I thought when we moved to the stage it was going to be a lot more space, but it felt like more cramped, to be honest, because of the set.
Yeah, it's definitely, it gives you a more limited space in terms of like how shallow it is, but it's still probably about 16, 20 feet. But going from a place where, again, you don't have anything to go around to something where you have to start taking that into consideration and being in the wings and not being able to be seen, it starts to feel constricting.
Redos. I heard new stage got painted this year. What else have we upgraded to the auditorium?
Well, in February, we got a new light board that is the industry standard Element 2 light board. This summer, we got a new Allen & Heath SQ7 soundboard, which is another thing that is what is used in most professional settings. And for those that haven't been back since last fall, we don't have the big walkway around. We've added some seats back in. They've repainted the stage. We have 12 new light fixtures that the school helped us purchase just this fall. So there's a lot of new gear in there right now. And then when you come to see the show, you'll see that there's new carpet and that there's been new paint done in the auditorium underneath the seats. Mr. Menno has been really working hard over the last year to beautify the auditorium space and update it.
So we're getting ready for that show. As when you guys got casted, let's go back to auditions and then casting. Did you guys feel like you fit right into your character, or did you have to work to make your character, or you and your character, work together?
For me personally, I remember the first day when we did lines. I just kind of felt the moment and I went with it, and it's kind of been how I play my character ever since. And I didn't really change anything. I kind of just saw him as this way, and then I just kind of went for it. So.
Do you think you and your character are similar personalities?
Yeah. I think we are, actually.
Oh, no.
When it comes to older girls, yeah.
Okay. No, I definitely think that my character really fits me. Like I haven't really had to change anything of like how I talk or like what I do. Like I feel like it's just like, I don't know. It's just like if I had a name change and was put into a musical.
This is the humble brag moment. We're like, no, we like slam dunk. We like day one. We nailed it.
Yeah. Milo?
I originally did not plan to audition for Bill. I was going to do Harry.
We're back here at Clearfield High School. As you can see, members of the GM football team and Clearfield football team both on a knee right now. We are not going to show you the situation of what's going on, but we can explain to you that a stretcher has been wheeled out for Jacob Zeitz. We have not seen him be moved at this point. It looks like they are about to move him onto a stretcher. And there is an ambulance outside of the gate. We have not seen that ambulance move towards the field, but we have seen it be turned on. You can hear a pin drop here at Clearfield High School. It's a scary sight right now, no question about that. And we just, again, hope and pray for the best for Jacob Seitz. So that's why we're stepping away for a moment, and we'll continue our coverage here with 6:21 to go in the fourth quarter. General McLane trailing Clearfield 21-20. We'll be right back in just a moment.
But then I kind of asked the other dudes what they were doing, and no one said they were auditioning for Bill. So I really didn't have any competition.
I think it fits you. I like because you have like the deep voice and like, yeah, Bill.
Yeah. Well, I had to perfect some of the dad mannerisms and poses. But
Yeah.
Layla?
I mean, yeah, I wanted Rosie from when I first saw the show, so I'm glad I got it, and I think it fits me pretty well.
Whoever wants to, give us a rundown if you've never seen Mamma Mia. Obviously not to spoil anything, but what is the idea of Mamma Mia?
I've never seen Mamma Mia.
All right, that's not something you say.
I'm not gonna lie.
Seven, but
It's fine.
I want to give a description, but I don't want to.
All right, we are back here at Clearfield High School Bison Stadium. It is a 21-20 Clearfield lead right now. They have just stretchered off Jacob Seitz and are presumably loading him into the ambulance, which is just below us here in the Clearfield press box. So we know that you all in the comments have been looking for a explanation as to what's going on. All we can tell you right now is that Jacob seems to be heading to a hospital, though we cannot confirm that. And Jonathan, we saw what happened in the prep game with Jacob and him leaving the game. It's a playoff game. It means a lot for both teams. It's a win or go home, but it's a difficult sight to see. There's no question.
Yeah, this is eerily similar to being on the sidelines at that game and kind of watching the air deflate out of the crowd as he got carted off in that game. And once again, yeah, playoff football game, state playoffs, really important football game, but there's nobody on this field that believes that game is more important than his health right now. So we're wishing him all the best, and hopefully he's able to get healthy.
So we just got word from the GM coaches who have been in communication with the people downstairs that they are taking him to the hospital, Jacob Seitz, as a precaution, that there was tingling in his legs, but he has movement in his extremities. That's good news. And so they are taking him to the hospital as a precaution to get him checked out. They do not believe it has anything to do with the head or neck, which is a breath of fresh air where that's concerned, Jonathan, but obviously we still hope the best for Jacob regardless of whatever we may be hearing here.
Yeah, anytime you see a guy stretchered off, it's not good. It's not anything that you want to see, and it's not anything that you want to experience or be there for, but it is good news to hear that it's not presumably head or neck related, as we all know what his injury was in that prep game. So that's good news, and once again, we just wish him all the best, and hopefully we hear more good news with him going forward.
We will certainly keep you updated as we learn more. Back to the game. 6:21 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's 21-20 Clearfield. And GM has the football, second down and 10 at their own 5-yard line.
Now it's on Isaac Zeitz to lead a drive for the game.
The senior quarterback, he's led a lot of great drives before. Trying to do so again here in this fourth quarter with his team down by a single point. About a 15-minute delay as well with the injury. On second down, give Teague Berger. Trying to bounce outside, he lost yards. Back to the 3-yard line. A host of Bison defenders brought him down, and here comes third and long.
You're going to have to put the ball in your quarterback's hand. Your senior quarterback, he's led you this far in this season. Obviously, very tough moments for him, but he's the guy that you have to go to and rely on to get out of this jam.
So third down and 12 coming up for GM, trailing 21-20. Clock under 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The winner gets McKeesport or Thomas Jefferson in tomorrow's Whippeal Championship 4A game. Seitz in the shotgun. He's got a trio of receivers to the left-hand side. Under pressure on third down. Going to gun one down the field. Has a man open. It's caught in stride. 50, 45. Racing down the field with all kinds of room is Kyle McConnell. He's gone! 97 yards. That one's for Jacob. That one's for the lead. GM's back in front.
And right when you need him, right on cue, Isaac Zeitz with a dime of a throw over the top to Kyle McConnell. He catches it in stride, runs out of a tackle, and that's 97 yards to pay dirt.
GM had not ripped up a big play all day. Isaac Zeitz had missed a couple of open receivers down the field in this game. But on 3rd and 12 from the 3, he goes 97 yards. Lancers will go for 2. It's 26-21, trying to make it a 7-point game. A huge play here to try to go up 7. And a whistle. And I believe we have a timeout call on one side of the field. No, we have a flag down, excuse me. And we'll check the penalty flag. It's going to be an illegal substitution on Clearfield. So the ball moves from the 2 to the 1.
And they're putting in their big package right now. Big Jared Corwin and presumably taking the snap.
So a huge 2-point conversion coming from GM after a 97-yard touchdown. Huge 2-point conversion for the Lancers. The clock sitting at 5:25. What a turn of events here from Clearfield.
It looks like they just waved the flag off, Isaac.
I think you're right, Jonathan. Marshall McCormick wants an explanation as to why. And so it looks like the ball will stay on the 3. So now GM puts their normal package or their 2-point package back on the field. Lancers trying to go up by 7, up 26-21. Clock at 5:25 in this game. What will GM call? They've got Teague-Berger in the backfield. Little bit of miscommunication. Now they get set. Kyle McConnell, the man who caught the touchdown, is on the right side. Zeitz going to fire. Berger needs to get 2 yards. He is not going to get there. Clearfield's defense makes his stand. It's O'Brien Owens who made the play, and it remains a 26-21 GM lead. We'll take a timeout. Lancers back in front by 5 with 5:25 to go. We'll return after this break.
Get ready for an unforgettable night of music, laughter, and heart. Mamma Mia is coming to General McLane for 4 unforgettable performances. Join us for fun this Thursday, November 14th, and 2 shows on Saturday, November 16th at 2 and 7 p.m., with final performance Sunday, November 17th at 2. Experience the magic as talented high school students bring the hit musical to life. Tickets are on sale now. Get yours online or at the door. Don't miss out on this amazing high school production of Mamma Mia, the perfect way to kick off your weekend. Get your tickets today and make memories that will have you singing and dancing all the way home.
Number 89, Brendan Berger.
We expected this game to be close. We expected there to be tips, twists, and turns. And we have had the latest rendition of what has been a great battle. A 97-yard touchdown from Isaac Zeitz to Kyle McConnell. And GM leads Clearfield with 5 minutes and 25 seconds to go, 26-21. Lancers to kick the football off. It's a pooch kick. Bison take it at the 35. And aren't going to get much further than that. 38-yard line is where they'll start. And the Lancers, who look dead and buried, of course, the emotion of Jacob Zeitz leaving the game, suddenly find themselves up 5, but now the defense work to do.
Yeah, and this is a crucial spot in the game for your Lancer defense. They've got to get a stop right here. Game is on the line. You know Clearfield is running the football, which means that clock is going to run down. The last thing that you can have right now is a long drive ending in a touchdown.
Last state playoff win for General McLane, 2006. Drew Astorino and company that year went all the way to win the Class State Championship game. The 38-yard line, the line of scrimmage. Clearfield, plenty of time, 5:25. A touchdown will give them the lead. First down, Collins up the gut. Beachley, P.J. Mitchell, gang tackle him. It's a 3-yard gain.
And a good play by Mitchell and by Beachley to catch him in the middle of the field and catch him right there in the pile and not let him break free out of that first tackle as he's been doing as of late. First guys that got there made the play.
Clock becomes a factor down the stretch of the fourth quarter, 4:54 to go. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. You know what Clearfield's doing. They want to run all this time off the clock and try to win the game in their hands. 2nd down, 7. It's a QB draw. Collins tripped up just after the line of scrimmage. Lancer stringing out again.
And they bust the play in the backfield, knock the quarterback over on the handoff. Cohen Beachley is outside, and he's on the ground, getting blocked to the ground, and makes the play from his knees. A great play by Cohen Beachley because that could have been a very big gain, but he makes a crazy play from the ground.
3rd down and 7 upcoming for Clearfield. They have been proficient on 3rd downs today. The only one they didn't convert ended in that 4th and goal stop. The 48-yard line they need for a 1st down. It's 3rd and 7. 3:57 left to go in this 4A first-round game. Xavier Curry back at quarterback. Rolling left, has time, lofts it down the field, man open, it's complete, inside the 30 is Elijah Glunt, and a 1st down for the Bison at the 23, another pitch and catch on 3rd down.
Yeah, and right when you think you've built some momentum, this passing game from Clearfield comes alive. They don't go to it often, but when they do go to it, they're usually successful with it, and right there, you hate to say it and you hate to see it, but you're missing Jacob Zeitz in that safety position.
It's a 35-yard gain on 3rd and 8. And the Bison are knocking on the door at the 23. 3:25 to go and counting in this game. The winner to the PIAA state quarterfinals. Carter Freeland back in at quarterback. He's got Brady Collins to his left. Freeland keeps, tries to hurdle a couple of defenders, and gets no more than 3. So now the chess match begins. Jonathan, if you're GM, when do you start using timeouts, or do you let it ride and trust your defense?
You know, you got your defense down here backed up and into the red zone last drive, and they were able to hold for you and make a stop and make a stand. I feel like you got to trust your defense at least for the rest of this particular series before you start burning timeouts. Once you get under 2 minutes, then you got to start playing the clock game.
Under 3 minutes to go. Both sides of the crowd anxious as ever in the waning moments of a back-and-forth seesaw game. Lancers have the lead on the 97-yard touchdown to Kyle McConnell. Freeland barking directions, gives Collins up the gut, sprints his way through, nearly scored, but has a 1st and goal to go. At the 10-yard line, he was shoestring tackled that would have potentially scored the go-ahead touchdown. And we have a Lancer that is slow to get up on this play. It's Logan Squires. We will take a timeout as they check on Logan Squires. 2:23 to go. Clearfield off 1st and goal, down by 5 when we come back.
Sound Productions is a proud sponsor of Jeremy McLean football. 25 years of service, Millennium Sound Productions is located at 12110 Edinburgh Road with 10 DJs on staff, photo booths, videography, and production services. Millennium Sound Productions is the largest entertainment company in Northwest PA that provides service for weddings, private parties, fundraisers, and school dances, along with videography services for weddings, school productions, and sporting events. Check out Millennium Sound Productions online at www.msdjs.com. Go Lancers!
Drama building from Clearfield High School. 2:23 to go in this 4th quarter, 26-21, GM in front of Clearfield. It's a 1st and goal for the Bison at the 10-yard line. Both teams all 3 timeouts. Lancers had a stand on the last drive. We'll see what happens here in a huge moment. Collins in the backfield. Freeland, the cue. Heavy set. Collins, right side. Can the Lancers string him out? No, they can't. Collins dives. He is. Do they give it to him? They do. Touchdown Clearfield. They're back in the lead. Collins' his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night.
Right there, they just get the edge. They sent a lot of blockers over, and they sent a couple guys to basically what we call as a reach block and seal off the edge and not allow a GM defender to play contain. And all that takes, all Collins needs is a little bit of green grass off that edge, and he's able to dive in for the score.
So the Bison now leading for the second time in this game, 27-26, 1:57 left, and they're going to go for two, I would think here, Jonathan, and try to make it a 3-point game.
Yeah, it's a smart decision right here. Make it a field goal game. You haven't seen much out of General McLane's kicking game. Sans a couple extra points and the big missed extra point. But a 3-point game or less than a 3-point game, and you have an opportunity potentially to win it if you get close enough to kick a field goal.
2-point try. Freeland gonna throw, deflected, incomplete. Lancers hold on the 2-point try, and it's a 1-point game with 1:57 to go. And how fitting that the ball game comes down to Marshall McCormick's offense.
Man, 2-minute drill, fate of the season on the line, and a field goal is in play. This is PIAA state playoff football at its finest, and this is going to be a fun last 2 minutes to watch.
It has been an unbelievable game, one that has featured twists and turns. 2.5 hours the time of the game. GM started it up 20-7. Since then, Clearfield has come back, took a 21-20 lead. GM then with a 97-yard touchdown to Kyle McConnell. Took the lead back, missed the two, and a touchdown run from Brady Collins is where we stand now. So, Jonathan, as we get ready for the kick, you don't have Jacob Zeitz. Your biggest weapon gone. What's the game plan for Marshall McCormick with a $1:57 and 3 timeouts?
Put the ball in Isaac Zeitz's hands and let him make the decisions and let him do what he does. Isaac Zeitz has shown he's thrown 36 touchdown passes. Only 16 of those are going to Jacob, which means there are other guys on this roster that have made plays for this football team. There are other guys that can go up and catch the football like we saw on the long touchdown pass earlier. You have weapons outside of Jacob Zeitz. You've used them all year. You're going to need them to come through, and you're going to need someone to make a big play right here. But it starts with Isaac.
Again, want to thank the GM Foundation, GM Athletics, Athletic Director Jimmy Soboleski for assisting us with allowing us to broadcast the game tonight. GM's going to pick this kick up, and they do at the 25, and a nice return out to the 33 and the 34 for the Lancers. Teague Berger was the one who returned it to the 35, and so Isaac Zeitz, the senior quarterback, with a $1:51 and 3 timeouts, needs a field goal to win, a touchdown to potentially cement the win.
You wouldn't want it any other way than this. You couldn't script it any better than this. The ball in the hands of your senior quarterback, the guy that's brought you here, some of our picks amongst the podcast as D10 Player of the Year. The ball is in his hands, and it's on him to lead a drive on a 2-minute drill.
He's got 3 touchdown passes today, 37 on the year. Going to drop back again on first down. Launch one down the field into coverage, and that ball is caught. Jarrett Corwin reels it in at the 37, and the Lancers are in business on a first down pitch and catch. There is a Clearfield player down at the 33.
You hate to see an injury because you know GM was getting on the football to run another play really fast, but the injury timeout.
1:44 to go, and now Jonathan at the 39-yard line. If you're GM, you've got time.
Yeah, you got a lot of time to work with on the plus side of the 50. Honestly, did not expect to see a shot there on the first play, but Marshall McCormick is aggressive, and he trusts his quarterback. He went and made a play just now.
1st and 10, Zeitz not going to snap it. Clearfield has called a timeout. With 1 minute and 39 seconds on the clock, it's the first timeout for the Bison. And now, GM, you reset. You've got time, 3 timeouts. You want to get into field goal range. Realistically, though, get in the end zone. What's the plan here if you're Marshall McCormick?
Honestly, you don't want to score too quickly. You obviously got to get as close as you possibly can and keep a field goal in play. But for me, a chunk play on first down like that, and you've got all of your timeouts, it opens up the opportunity for you to still be able to run the football. You've been running the football well to this point in the game. It's not going to hurt you, and you're good at getting to the ball and getting plays off quickly. So everything is in play. It doesn't have to be just all on Isaac Zeitz's arm. Because of this big play, it puts you in position to be able to set up running plays, set up play action plays potentially, and still have a balanced offense where Clearfield can't just drop 8 into coverage and sit back and wait on Isaac to throw the football.
If the Lancers are able to win this game, they would play next weekend. Time site to be determined against the WPIAL champ. It has been a storybook game tonight. One more chapter left to be written. 1 minute, 39 seconds to go. A first down for the Lancers. They pitch. Berger has a lane. Cuts at the 35. And on first down, Berger able to pick up 6. Time bleeding, under a minute and a half to go in this game.
And there goes one of those runs that I was talking about. I would have loved to see Berger stay outside and get out of bounds, but they're on the ball quickly again.
Second down and 4 coming. They throw. Zeitz completes. McConnell churning the legs inside the 20. That combination lethal in the last 2 drives, and GM's in the red zone with 1:13 to go. Lancers will use a timeout with 73 seconds to go, 20 yards from the end zone.
And that's that same slant pattern, RPO look that they've been running to Jacob Zeitz all day. McConnell steps in and fills the role. And talk about keeping your legs driving. Drives for an extra 4 or 5 yards when you thought he was dead to rights. And they get the first down, and now they are in business. Ball in the red zone, but this is where they have somewhat struggled tonight. So they have to play clean inside the red zone and finish this drive off.
Minute 13 seconds left to go in this game. Both teams with 2 timeouts. Lancers at the 20-yard line, trying for a comeback win here at Clearfield tonight. 2 teams, Jonathan, that we all can agree are both deserving of being here, and clearly one of the biggest matchups of the night based on our viewership right now. Everyone tuned in, eyes peeled for this ending.
You can't write it any better than this, man. This is high school football at its peak. If you're tuned in right now, you are watching an instant classic. If we were playing NCAA football, it would be an ESPN instant classic on your leaderboard.
From the 20-yard line, 1:13 to go, GM down by 1. They give Berger first down up the middle, 5-yard gain. Teague Berger slowly but surely with the clock at 1:04 and running. And GM still time left in this game, under a minute now. 58, now 57. They give him 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6 from the 16. What theater here from Clearfield. Cohen Beachley in the backfield. They snap it on second down. Zeitz gonna keep it. Gets wrapped down from behind. A loss on second down. It's Hunter Ressler. There is a penalty flag down on the field.
You know, Clearfield has had the penalty bug in this game, especially in pivotal plays inside the red zone. The start of that penalty, it looks like it might be on them.
It is a face mask against the Bison. Another critical penalty against Clearfield with 42.1 to go. So it resets the chains, gives GM a first down with 42 seconds on the clock. A huge penalty call down the stretch.
And it's just a case of what happened, a little bit of what happened in the first half. Clearfield gets into the field. Clearfield allows GM to drive into the red zone and gives up a big penalty to keep a drive going.
GM calls a timeout with 42.1 to go. They're still determining whether or not it's a first down or not. I would think it's an automatic first down because of the penalty, but if it's an incidental face mask, then it's 5 yards. Right now it's listed as 2nd and 1 for GM, but nonetheless, it puts the ball at the 11-yard line, and you have time to potentially run the ball again with 1 timeout.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they went incidental, which is why Coach McCormick burned the timeout there, because the clock was going to run on the official's signal. With that being said, you still have the ball on the 11-yard line. You've got 42 seconds and a timeout to work with. You're in great position if you're Marshall McCormick's squad. You just have to play clean football.
At this point, we talked about not wanting to leave Clearfield the ball. At this point, you're thinking you have to score.
You have to score. Yeah. Under a minute left, you take your chances with Clearfield, who's been able to really only run the football all season. You take your chances with them getting the ball with 30 or 40 seconds left on the clock and telling them they have to go all the way down the field and score a touchdown.
From the 11-yard line, 2nd and 1, 42 seconds to go. Beachley the back. Can GM punch it in? They go ground. Beachley makes a cut. 1st and goal at the 8. The clock will stop for a first down.
And they got to get on the ball.
37.4 to go. Still time, but now you got to punch it in the end zone. 34, now 33. Clock continuing to run. 1st and goal. GM down 1. Beachley in the backfield. Zeitz looking, fires, end zone. Nobody home. He was looking for Kyle McConnell. Clearfield fans begging for a flag for intentional grounding. They're not going to get one. 23.5 on the clock.
Yeah, Kyle McConnell was in the area and the ball made it back to the line of scrimmage. That's a smart decision by Isaac Zeitz. He doesn't like what he sees, pressure in his face. He just throws the ball away, and you live to fight another play, and you stop the clock.
23.5 to go. The Lancers have missed an extra point today. McCall Eichner, the senior, is the kicker. From this spot, it would be a 25-yard field goal attempt. There is that option 2 again. GM just down 1. Our hearts are beating fast inside the press box. We can only imagine what yours are back home. Glad you're with us to take in the end of this one. 2nd down and goal at the 8-yard line. GM down 1, 27-26.
Keep in mind, GM still has a timeout to play with here.
What does Marshall McCormick have in his bag of tricks? His senior leader, Isaac Zeitz, with Cohen Beachley on his right-hand side, and a timeout called by Miles Caljean and Clearfield.
And you are watching a chess match in the works, folks. Timeout right there. He comes out, sees what GM's in, sees what GM particularly wants to get to, and now he's going to call a timeout and try to align his defense to what he just saw.
Miles Caljean, Marshall McCormick, 2 young coaches that took over for legends at their respective programs. And GM a chance to potentially punch it in. Again, do want to mention, the field goal is in play. But with the kicking concerns this year, you'd rather punch it in than have to kick.
You would most certainly rather get into the end zone than have to kick a field goal, but you're in range. Ball on the 7-yard line. You can still run the football here, fall forward for 2, 3, 4 yards, and now you're kicking what is essentially an extra point for the game. You don't want to leave it on the legs of your kicker that's missed an extra point today, but if you have to, it's very much in play.
McCall Eichner's 2 of 3 on PATs. 23.5 seconds to go in a drama-filled 4th quarter. 2nd and goal of the 8 for GM. Zeitz snaps in the shotgun. Back to throw. Corner end zone. Looking. Incomplete. Lancers want a flag. They're not going to get one. He was looking for P.J. Mitchell in the corner of the end zone. It's 3rd and goal with 19 seconds to go.
Yeah, and if you're P.J. Mitchell right there and you want a flag, you have to make a play at the football. He kind of just threw his arms up trying to draw a call, but he didn't exactly attack the football, so it made it a lot harder for him to get that call.
19 seconds to go. Both teams a timeout. The run is still in play for GM, as is the field goal. McCall Eichner is getting some reps on the sideline.
If you're going to run the football here, run the football to the wide side of the field and try to center the ball up for your kicker.
Crowd noise loud on both sides. The biggest play of the game on 3rd down. Zeitz, whistle.
Timeout.
And GM takes a timeout. That's their last timeout. And now, if you're Marshall McCormick, this ball either has to get to the end zone or you have to have 2 plays on a potential 4th down.
At this point, ball's got to be in the air. You can't run the football now. And it's not the ideal situation. McCormick doesn't look too pleased to have had to spend that
The
time
play
out.
clock was running down. That was a big part of it. Clearfield fans, I think, wanted a delay of game. But
They were going to get the snap off, though, but you saw Coach McCormick take off and get back into his old college football days and catch the referee at around the 7-yard line to get that timeout in just as the ball got snapped. This ball has to be in the air now. It has to be either a touchdown or an incomplete pass, and leave it up to your kicker.
So, Jonathan, the plan here is what? What do you do?
They've been trying to isolate flat routes. They've run a lot of rollout stuff, and they've been trying to run flat patterns and flat routes to the goal line. But you cannot throw this ball short of the goal line. You cannot risk being tackled outside of the end zone and having to get on the ball.
18 seconds on the clock. Clearfield fans to their feet. GM doesn't have a timeout. It's 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line. Trying to complete the comeback on the road in the state playoffs. Empty set for Isaac Zeitz. Motions over Cohen Beachley. Zeitz, corner, lob ball, incomplete. It's 4th and goal. And now what do you do if you're Marshall McCormick? He's going to bring McCall Eichner on for the game-winning field goal.
This is a huge moment in this game. Like we said before, Clearfield not getting that 2-point conversion on their last possession left this opportunity open for GM to kick a field goal and win the game, not go to overtime, but win the game, it's on the leg of your kicker now.
McCall Eichner, the senior, has missed an extra point tonight. This is about the same length.
Expect the ice right here.
It's a 25-yard field goal attempt for the senior. The game on his leg with a chance to send the Lancers to the state quarterfinals. And Clearfield calls timeout.
Yeah, classic move to ice them. Classic move to ice them, but you wonder why they called a timeout right there. Play clock is running down. They didn't look like they were actually going to get the snap off in time, and they might have taken a delay of game penalty. So Clearfield really bailed out GM just now.
Miles Karajan calling his last timeout. All up to McCall Eichner, a senior for this Lancer team. Seniors have been such a huge part of this team all year. It is on the left hash.
Man, we've been saying all game this is a storybook ending. And this has been a game that you couldn't script any better. What better way to go out than on the legs of a kicker for a game-winning field goal in the state playoffs?
The clock is at 14.9. Clearfield has no timeouts. It either goes or it doesn't. McCall Eichner, the senior, trying to put General McLane into the state quarterfinals. Right-footed kicker. Ball inside the left hash. Snap good. It's a high snap. Eichner, it's blocked. Clearfield gets the stop and is going ahead to the state quarterfinals. The snap was high. The kick no good. A flag for excessive celebration, but Clearfield will take it. And the Lancer season will come to an end on a blocked field goal.
Now, that excessive celebration penalty might be huge. It's half the distance to the goal because it's a personal foul penalty. That puts the ball at around the 3-yard line. If you're taking a knee there and the ball is on the 3-yard line, you have to snap it and get down very quickly. You cannot back up at all, or you're in your own end zone.
It was a high snap. Eichner got it down and kicked it, but just didn't have enough air. The offense does the job, and it came down to one kick. And just a sickening way, if you're a GM fan, for this season to end. 10.9 left. They'll mark off the penalty, but it's too little too late.
Where are they marking it from?
Looks like the penalties were offsetting.
Man.
A historic season for General McLane ends in heartbreak. One knee by Xavier Curry. And Clearfield will celebrate. They hold on to beat GM 27-26 in a game that will be remembered for years to come. They gave it everything they had.
Yeah, man, they battled in this one. This was a show-stopping game, and it was definitely the game that we anticipated coming in. It was going to be close, and it was going to be down to the wire. If you're GM, you did everything you could. You gave yourself a chance at the end of the game to win the game, and that's all you can ask for. They set themselves up really well with an opportunity to win the game. Fell just short, but, man, this has been a spectacular season for this Lancer football program. They have nothing to hang their heads about. One of the best seasons they've had in the last 2 decades. Just a great year overall for this Lancer squad.
We want to say thank you to the General McLane Foundation, to GM Athletics Athletic Director Jamie Sobolewski for helping us sponsor this production tonight. A thanks to Mark Eisert, Millennium Sound, for helping us out with the camera crew, Casey Ramey, our producer. and for everyone at General McLane. It was a wonderful stream tonight. We're so thankful that you could spend a few minutes and a couple hours with us to be a part of this stream. It will be remembered as a historic season, but it comes to an end at the last moment. The final score tonight from the 4A first round of the state playoffs: Clearfield 27, General McLane 26. This has been a production of Lancer Link. If you haven't already, please get your tickets from Mamma Mia. Two performances coming up tomorrow at 2 and 7. We'll see you all next year for football. Until then, everybody, enjoy the rest of your Friday night.